Prop Design and Construction, Jacob Wilmore, Battery Percussion, Nick Hill and Caitlin Dewar, Sideline Ensemble. Additional visual staff includes Jen Lobmeyer, Angie Petrilli, Kieran Petrosky, Mike Murphy, and our prop and movement coordinator is Jackson Wayland.
Over here, stand over here, you can see them. Right here, you can see
Drum majors Riley Chodorov and Lauren Sachs. Is the band ready for liftoff? You may take the field in pregame exhibition performance.
Let's go, Pennridge! Woo! Good cheerleader. That's Jake's mom.
That out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Pennridge Ram Marching Band.
My knees aren't bad. I'm not marching like this after the show. He played it solo, and then when he was marching back. Good idea.
Once again, good morning everyone and happy Thanksgiving. Welcome to Alumni Field for the 93rd matchup between the Quakertown Panthers and the Pennridge Rams. Thanksgiving morning here at Alumni Field. We thank you for joining us. On behalf of Quakertown and Pennridge School Districts, we thank you for being a part of this holiday tradition, once again played out here this morning at Alumni Field. Happy Thanksgiving one and all. Getting close to kickoff for this high school football contest this morning. Thanks to our game sponsors once again, Dave Services, Tree and Lawn Care. Contact them at 215-778-6110. Rick Stike Contracting. Let's go Panthers. It's been a pleasure to watch you boys become men. Play like there is no tomorrow. Play like champions. Sands Chrysler Jeep and Dodge. Sands Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Quakertown, proudly supporting Quakertown High School and the 2022 Quakertown High School Panther football team. Spores, open every day, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Family owned and operated for over 40 years. United Integrity Group. United Integrity Group handling all of your Medicare supplemental needs. Proudly supporting the Quakertown Panthers and the Upper Bucks community. Again, Dave Services, Rick Stike Contracting, Sands Chrysler Jeep Dodge, Spores, and United Integrity Group. Our Thanksgiving Day game sponsors. Our game ball sponsors include Applebee's and Penn Stainless.
Woo. I forgot those stairs are short.
Yeah, I know. I was going
We're supposed to have our music.
Yeah, they're like, wow.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah,
I don't read it. If you don't have it, like, perfect. It's gonna be like, you're off. He said, it was like, you need to have it.
Yeah, Julia. Yeah, Julia. Oh my God, my
Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin this morning's contest, as has become a tradition here at Quakertown for the Thanksgiving Day football game, the Varsity Singers are joining us to open our opening ceremony. So if you'll be kind enough to rise, please. The Varsity Singers will be performing our national anthem and the Quakertown alma mater.
We gotta see the flag. You heard me? So it looks like they did it before they run out, actually.
And now the Quakertown alma mater.
Yeah, hold this.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
oh, bunch? Sure.
You can drink it if you want to.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you to the Quakertown Senior High School Varsity Singers.
I love you, Gray! I love you, Gray!
Looking at our starters for today's game, for the visitors from Pennridge. The offensive unit, the quarterback, is number 16, Noah Keating. Wide receiver, number 14, Nate Mossbrook. Wide receiver, number 11, Nick Swanson. Running back, number 8, Tyler Wetzel. And a wide receiver, number 6, Jake Holt. We'll also have a running back, number 21, Connor Laley. And number 22, Brennan Fisher. Linemen include number 44, Hunter Burdick. Number 55, Chase Washington. Head coach is Chuck Berge, assisted by Dave Cressman, Craig Witten, Dan Branch, Jay Jones, Mike Chando, Josh Lake, Dan Branch Jr., Connor Sullivan, Tim Maloney, Sean Pelosi, Scott Mueller, Tyler Bigham, and Jordan Garris. Starting defensive unit for the Quakertown Panthers. Defensive end number 11, Anthony Ferruglio. Defensive back number 14, Reagan Payne. Defensive end number 15, Owen Jagers. Defensive back number 16, Adam Straley. Inside linebacker number 20, Gavin Carroll. Outside linebacker number 24, Brett Heilman. Inside linebacker number 39, Cody Jefferson. Defensive back number 48, Devin Ure. Defensive lineman number 55, Nick Laudenberger. Defensive lineman number 66, Vincent Pellegrini. Defensive lineman number 77, Nico Basile. Defensive end number 86, Michael Riccino. Defensive back number 87, Max Morris. Head coach for the Panthers is George Battis, assisted by Chris Hunter, Chris Lemuel, Chris Gunning, David Weinstein, Bob LaSalle, Brad Mushrush, Joe Martin, Brandon Wolf, Jesus Duran, John Kincaid, Jeff Wolfinger, Jeremy Walk, Joel Elmore, and Chris Diley.
Hello and welcome to this Thanksgiving edition of Quakertown Football. We are here at Alumni Field for the 93rd matchup between the 2-8 Pennridge Rams and the 5-6 Quakertown Panthers. I'm Rocco Pellegrino alongside Jack James, your color commentator for today's game. And Jack, when you scout this Rams team, you see a unit that's probably a little bit better than the record indicates.
You're looking at a team that has a very deceiving record standing at 2-8. They have 4 one-score losses coming into this game. 9-2 Pennsbury on the road by 3, 9-3 Souderton by 3, 8-3 CB East, and a double overtime into Chamonix by 1. They have a 1-6 conference record. But the first-year Pennridge head coach, Coach Berge, says, "It is true with any rivalry of this magnitude. The regular season records simply do not matter. Common opponents, margin of victory, strength of schedule, throw it all out."
And he is spot on with that response. And meanwhile, when you look at the team that's running out right now, the Quakertown Panthers, George Manis, the head coach, he is 3-9 in Thanksgiving Day games coming into today's game. They come in with essentially a 3-week bye after the playoff loss to number 1 seeded Garnet Valley. They're without their best player today, number 4, John Etherton, due to a knee injury, and obviously it's a huge loss as he leads the team in both rushing and total touchdowns. Trying to overcome that today for Quakertown's 30th all-time victory versus Pennridge on Thanksgiving is junior quarterback Vince McCucci. Vince comes into today's game with what was basically a tale of two halves. They start 1-4. They finish a game versus Plymouth Whitemarsh with 0 completions and 2 interceptions. They average 15 points a game in the first 4 games of the 2022 campaign, but what really turned that around was that 16-0 shutout road victory against Council Rock South.
Yeah, and it was really a turning point for the young quarterback. Had a 76-yard touchdown pass to Etherton and went 8 for 13 in a win. Finished the final 5 games with 10 touchdowns while completing around 63% of his passes. Compare that to 5 touchdowns and 4 picks he threw in the opening 4 games.
Also making his first Thanksgiving start is Pennridge freshman quarterback Noah Keating. Keating took over the job around midseason and replaced number 3 Patrick Burdick before his teammates and coaches rallied around them. And Coach Berge says Noah Keating worked himself into the starting role and has continued to develop throughout the season, that it's not a slight to the other quarterback, but rather that all players realize that this is a team sport and we all strive to do what is best for the team. And meanwhile, on the field, you see the Pennridge Rams coming out after that standoff as Quakertown and Pennridge are getting into it early. And trying to help the freshman quarterback Noah Keating today will be the ferocious ground attack, which is led by West Point commit Brennan Fisher.
When you watch the tape, your eyes really gravitate towards number 22. He really reminded us both of Saquon Barkley with his explosiveness and power. He also uses his quick speed to separate himself from defenders in the open field. A common belief in the Quakertown locker room is, if you stop number 22, we take home the Turkey Bowl.
And we will see if that holds true today as we get set for this historic rivalry here at Alumni Field, 93rd installment of the Turkey Bowl day game between Quakertown and Pennridge. As Quakertown gets set to run out, crowd is on their feet and ready for what should hopefully be an exciting matchup between these two small towns that have been linked together for decades because of this here rivalry. So just looking at the tail of the tape here between these two teams, the common opponents between Quakertown and Pennridge, there was 4 of them. They both faced Souderton, Ben Salem, CB West, and North Penn. And so far, all 4 of those matchups aligned perfectly with each other. They both lost to Souderton, they both blew out Ben Salem, they both lost to CB West, and they both lost heavily to North Penn. So it's 2 teams that are likely very similarly matched up today. But Quakertown will be without their best player, number 4, John Etherton, which is a huge loss, as Etherton comes into today's game with 344 receiving yards and 462 rushing yards, along with 12 total touchdowns. And now coming out for the coin toss for the Quakertown Panthers will be number 15, Owen Jagers, number 66, Vinny Pellegrini, who was a first-team Continental Conference member, number 24, Brett Heilman, and number 4, John Etherton, who is not dressed for today's game, as we mentioned before.
Brennan Fisher, number 22, committed to Army and is also first-team National Conference selection.
He really leads this rushing attack throughout the game for Pennridge. Everything pretty much runs through him, and we'll see if that holds true today.
When watching the game, you're going to see a lot of outside runs, and they're going to hope that the receivers can keep blocking the cornerbacks. When watching the games, we've seen that that's a common running style that they have.
Also, heavy east-west runners, but they are not afraid to run anybody over. As Fisher's a really thick guy, he's able to barrel through defenders, fall forward for extra yardage, which is really crucial for them in those short yardage situations that they're going to have to pick up today. As they will be starting a freshman quarterback, Noah Keating, who's shown some flashes, but probably has not dealt with any stage like this, as the stands are packed on both sides.
On the Park Avenue side, Alumni Field, Tyler Wetzel and Brennan Fisher, captains for Pennridge. Also, Dylan O'Brien.
So as we mentioned before, this is the 93rd matchup between Quakertown and Pennridge on Thanksgiving, but there was one matchup that actually was not played on Thanksgiving, was pushed back a few days. In 1989, due to a huge snowstorm, forced them to play 2 days later. They still were able to keep the tradition going, though. But we talked to some players that played in that game, and they said that the field was pretty much frozen over for the first quarter and then turned into slop.
Quakertown also won their last matchup 21-0 at Pennridge, ending their 5-game win streak. Pennridge won 5 of the last 6, though, last year, and Quakertown was able to break the 5-game win streak.
Was George Bannis' third all-time victory on Thanksgiving against Pennridge.
Quakertown is also 18-25-3 at home, so they're definitely going to be looking to improve that record.
And they're a better team at home. They only have 11 wins on the road and 18 at home. All-time series is 58-29-5. And Pennridge will be receiving the opening kickoff. Jacob Wackerman, number 18, will be kicking it away.
We'll get the proceedings underway this morning. Once again, happy
So the Quakertown defense will start. They've been allowing around 32 points a game.
93rd time, Quakertown, Pennridge, Thanksgiving morning.
And here we go. We are set to kick off this 93rd installment of this historic rivalry between Quakertown and Pennridge.
Here they come. Circle.
Wackerman boots this one away. It's a squib to about the 20. Taken by Pennridge across the right side and brought down at around the 32-yard line. So it's nice starting field position for Keating, the freshman quarterback.
I believe that was Nick Swanson on the return.
Swanson, the sophomore receiver, he's going to be accompanied on the outside by Nate Mossbrook. He has 7 touchdowns and over 600 yards receiving in this season that went kind of in a downward spiral. It's been a streaky team, Pennridge. They lost their first 2, won the next 2, and then lost the next 6. They're going to start in empty, it looks like. 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen and 2 at the top.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a man in motion here.
So here's Keating. He takes the snap and empty on the first play. He's under pressure. He's rocked, and it's incomplete. Quakertown brings the heat early there as the pass sailed over the head of number 14, Nate Mossbrook of Pennridge.
There was great pressure there by Anthony Ferruggio, number 11.
And you want to see that early if you're Quakertown. You want to get this quarterback rallied. Hasn't really dealt with anything like this before, as we mentioned earlier. This is an atmosphere that's pretty much compared to nothing in high school football. Looks like the officials are discussing something here. No flag was thrown, though, so that'll set up 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. So here's Keating in the gun again. Takes a snap. It's a toss to Fisher. He's in the backfield. He's swarmed by a raging amount of Quakertown defenders and brought down behind the line of scrimmage for a big loss on 2nd and down, and there's a flag thrown at the end of the play. Hopefully this isn't a late flag against Quakertown that'll give Pennridge a free 15 yards, but it looks like that may have been called on Adam Straley, the corner, number 16. Officials discussing, and it looks like the defense will be moving back. Just have to be smarter there You make a huge play to set up 3rd and long, and then unfortunately give them a free 15 yards and a first down.
Hate to see that if you're Quakertown.
So should they be moving the chains here on automatic first down, or are they going to rule that this is still 3rd and short? Looks like that's what the refs are discussing here, but now... So they're going to make it 2nd and 2. No, check that. Now they're going to make it 3rd and 2. So still a big down here for Quakertown. Could be 3rd and long and 3rd and 17. Instead it's 3rd and 2, so Pennridge will set up in the I under center on 3rd and 2. Keating takes a snap. He gives it. It's Fisher, and he's brought down. He looks like he's short at around the 44. And that's a huge play for Quakertown. That ball does not look like it gained first down yardage, and now it's the first big decision for Coach Berge on the Pennridge sideline.
It looked like Brett Heilm and a senior linebacker got in to make that play, potentially saving their defensive drive.
Heilman was a second-team member of the Continental Conference, which was released recently this last week. The Pennridge offense is staying on the field here early in the first quarter, looking to set the tone. And they will indeed try to go for it here. Maybe try to draw them off sides. Quakertown crowds the line. Under center. Keating. Snap. Gives it. It's Fisher, and he's going to get the first down.
The key to that play was the inside offensive lineman pushing the D tackles forward.
And that was key there. Big pickup. Set up momentum early for Pennridge, and not want to give Quakertown short field position. So it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 49. And as we mentioned earlier, those short yardage situations, something that Pennridge is pretty good at, as they have Fisher who's able to run through defenders and also able to make them miss in the open field. So really a great dual threat running back for the Rams. So under 10 to play here in the first quarter. Keating will set up in the gun again. A man in motion, that's Mossbrook. He fakes it. Keating drops back. It's a screen to number 8, and he's brought down by Michael Rashina, the Quakertown defensive end. It's a huge play. Another loss for the Pennridge offense to set up 2nd and 13.
Mikey Rashina did not start throughout the whole season, although he is a senior. But halfway through the season, new senior Mikey and Nico Basili started, and Bannis said, the energy's higher at practice ever since those two have been starting for us. They have high motors, high intensity. Those two were definitely part of the key in the transition period.
He responded with that as the Quakertown defense really turned it around after those two stepped into the starting roles on the defensive line around mid-season. So here's Keating again. He sets up in the gun. Takes a snap, they look to throw. Keating over the middle, pass is completed. It's a nice catch there by number 11, Nick Swanson, the sophomore receiver, who hauled that in with tight coverage by Gavin Carroll, but it looks like another flag is thrown for what might be unsportsmanlike conduct, but this time on Pennridge. So that's 2 big penalties, 2 mental mistakes that will cost both of their teams 15 yards, assuming that this play stands.
Seems like the long rivalry is really showing.
High intensity here, which you can expect from these guys. They both come in with seasons that probably could have hoped to have been better, and it is indeed a 15-yard penalty on Pennridge, which will set them back. And this is pretty much both of these teams' Super Bowl here. It's a 93-year tradition. They're looking for bragging rights for the next year. A tradition that's been extended beyond generations. Some of these guys' fathers have played in this game, and they're looking to honor the rivalry and get a win for their schools here, but you can't cost your team 15 yards early on. It still will be first down, though, for Pennridge. It just sets them back to about the 42, 43-yard line of Quakertown. So it's 1st and 10. Keating in the gun again next to Fisher. Keating gives it up the middle to Fisher, and a flag. Play's blown dead. I think that's a false start on number 9 of Pennridge. That would be Joe Gregoire, I believe. It is a false start. Looked like the receiver moved early there.
5 yards. First down at 15 from the 48.
I believe there has been 3 penalties on this drive, which has really been stunning both teams.
So it'll be 1st and 15 as that play did not count as the false start blew it dead. Similar formation though for Pennridge. Keating gives it to Fisher. It's a run up the middle, and he's brought down at a 45. Solid stop there by that defensive front of Quakertown. In on the tackle looked like Basili.
Nico, once again, did not start the first half of the season, but has really been the spark that Quakertown's defense has needed in the second half.
And that student section has rallied around him. Obviously huge fans of Nico Basili, chanting his name at the end of games when he got in the first half of the season. Then he eventually jumped into the starting role, which was, I'm sure, a great experience for Basili. So under 8 to play here in the first quarter. Pennridge is set up with 2nd and 12 at the 45. They go trips to the right. One lone receiver at the bottom. They give it to Fisher, who tries the right side. He gets the edge. Straley in on the tackle, and he forces him down at around 1st down yardage. We'll see if they give it to him.
It already looks like the key to this game for Quakertown's defense is try and contain Fisher up the middle and then let the defensive tackles make the play.
And that should be the key here. It sets up 3rd down and 1 now. They didn't give him 1st down yardage, so once again a short yardage situation for Pennridge. We saw it earlier, and they were able to pick it up after the 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty on Straley. And they're going to go in the eye again. Keating lines up under center. We'll see if they try Fisher again. They try to sneak it this time, and Keating's going to easily pick up the 1st down. A nice push by that interior.
It was a great play call by Pennridge's new head coach.
A very efficient play call there. The sneak. If you get that push from the interior, you're normally able to pick up the yardage, and they did get it there. And this is a Pennridge offensive line that's been pretty solid. They have multiple honorable mentions on that offensive line for the National Conference. So Pennridge is going to go in the eye. After the sneak on 3rd down, they give it up the middle. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. It's a nice play made there. In on the carry was Tyler Wetzel, number 8, for Pennridge.
Something that you'll notice about the Quakertown team is they have a lot of juniors starting, so you're going to hope that leads to a bright future for the Quakertown Panthers next year.
And we'll likely see the Keating-McCucci matchup again at quarterback next season, assuming both of them continue to start. And you get a rare situation for a freshman quarterback starting this game, something we couldn't find data on back to 2004, and we're sure that it probably hasn't happened before that too. As Fisher stuffed behind the line of scrimmage on 2nd and 9. Huge tackle, multiple guys in on that one for Quakertown.
It looked like Nick Lawnberger made the initial hit.
And Lawnberger was the one that said it. He said, if we can stop Fisher, I feel good about our chances winning this game. So far there, he's had some space, but up the middle, he hasn't really had anything going yet. So he was brought down for a loss of yardage multiple times here on this first drive. A long first drive for Pennridge, which has taken up around half of the first quarter, 7 minutes so far. And now on 3rd and 11, Keating's going to look to throw. Goes short, underneath, and it's broken up. Sets up 4th down. Huge play made there by the Quakertown defense. Cody Jefferson, the linebacker, broke that one up.
Another junior on the field. Hopefully he has a bright future on Quakertown.
Jefferson also does run the football for Quakertown, as he's the 3rd leading rusher for the Panthers on offense. And once again, it looks like this Pennridge offense may stay on the field here for 4th down, and they are. So 4th and 11. It's the 2nd 4th down attempt today for Pennridge on just early in the first drive. Keating, snap, looking, going for it all, and it's over the head of his receiver, incomplete, and Quakertown takes over. Looked again for Swanson there. Early target for Keating. so far in this first drive. A drive that results in just over 7 minutes elapsed off the clock, but no points, which is really what matters for this Quakertown defense.
Cody Jefferson making that huge breakup on third down. You're going to hope to see he can also step up in the run game now that senior running back John Etherton is out for this game.
The weight of the shoulders will be on Jefferson in the run game here. Looks like Heilman's also going to probably handle some of the running back duties for Quakertown. He started playing running back early on in the season, but later transferred primarily to linebacker, but it looks like they're going to need him here today. As they'll start with a give up the middle. It looks like that's Gavin Carroll, the normal linebacker for Quakertown, getting some snaps early on offense, which is something to watch here for the rest of this game.
As far as I'm aware, that's one of the first times of the season I've seen him in the backfield. You're definitely going to have to look at some of the other players to step up now that John Etherton is not able to participate in this game.
And Carroll is the leading tackle getter for Quakertown, along with the second sack getter. As Quakertown gives it to Brett Heilman on the carry there, sets up third and short, which is the situations you want to keep Vince in. You want to allow him to get the ball out of his hands quick, which has pretty much been the key this entire season.
Looks like Pennridge's D-line really did their job there getting to the running back early in the play.
Yeah, and they're led by number 55, Chase Washington, the honorable mention in the National Conference, starting at D-tackle here today. Really anchors that front, able to help them out in the run game and in the pass rush. And Quakertown was given first down yardage on that carry, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for McCucci as they go play action, going for Heilman down the field, and Heilman's got it inside the 20. Huge play set up by the play action of Vincent McCucci, who delivers a dime to Brett Heilman. Quakertown is into the red zone for the first time.
That was an amazing throw by Vince McCucci and the way that he stepped up in the pocket to give himself some more time. And a really great catch by Brett. Can't let those big plays slip out of your hands.
And shockingly, a big play that's not followed by a flag early on today.
It's been a common theme of this game.
So it's going to set them up inside the 15. Heilman really broke open in the secondary there. Looks like they bid on that run on 1st and 10. We're expecting it. The DBs and the linebackers fell for it.
Quakertown has been big on play action all season. The mobile quarterback, Vince McCucci, really helps them with running those plays.
Able to really set the edge for them there as Carroll takes the carry. Warp down at around the 10. But that's a nice carry there on 1st down. Picks up good yardage. And Quakertown still is able to pick up a 1st down at around the 5.
It doesn't matter.
So they picked up around 6 there on 1st down. Sets up 2nd and 4. So here's McCucci in the gun. His 2 wide receivers to his right. He's going to give it up the middle to Carroll, who brings it to around the 4. That might be a 1st down. It looks like he picked it up. We'll see what the refs signal. No signal yet, and it looks like they're going to give him the 1st down. Yes, they do.
So far, Quakertown's offensive line has really done their job this game, but you got to look to see if they could convert at the goal line. A lot of great inside runs.
Spot on with that. They've held up nicely so far. 2 backs in the backfield, Heilman and Carroll again. McCucci under center, Jagers in motion. McCucci gives up to Heilman, tries the right side, and he is stuffed short of the goal line, but still a nice pickup. Looks like he cut the 4 yards and a half there on that 1st down run.
You just got to hope to see if the offensive line could keep winning the up-front battle to see if they could convert one.
Yeah, and Heilman has 9 touchdowns, which has pretty much been a result of him being the goal line back for Quakertown. He's actually 4th in rushing yards. He has 45 carries, which is also 4th. But he always gets these touches down by the goal line, and no reason not to, as he's been pretty efficient here. As McCucci tries the sneak. Did he get in? It looks like they're going to rule him short.
Quarterback keeper for Vince McCucci.
He's down about the 1.
Stopped by the Rams front line.
And this is going to set up a big short yardage situation for the Panthers.
Gain of almost
Dating back to 1930, there have been 33 shutouts throughout the year, so you're gonna hope to see that Quakertown can not add on to that number.
Looking to break that possibility here as they line up on 3rd and goal from the 1. Makuchi gives it, and they're into the end zone. Quakertown is on the board first in the 93rd installment. It was Aiden Whiteley who is into the end zone. Quakertown strikes first blood here early. I believe that might be Whiteley's first touchdown of the season so far, as Quakertown set up in an interesting formation here for the extra point. Brady Martin, it looks like the freshman quarterback who's in here. He's going to take it, roll right. He might be able to run this one in, and he is. Look at that. So Quakertown with the trickery on the 2-point play, and it gets them up 8-0.
It was quite the interesting play call there.
I don't think we've seen that all year from Quakertown, but it worked. So obviously no complaints here. Oh, there's a flag, and it's a hold on Quakertown. Looks like that flag came in late. So now they're going to have to try the extra point. Guessing the hole was possibly on the outside there by one of the receivers at the bottom, trying to prevent the DB from closing into Martin. And the officials are going to walk this one back.
You got to be disappointed there if you're Quakertown, wasting that great play call. Hopefully they could call up another good play.
Yeah, and you're unable to really run that again because Pennridge has seen it once, so if you try it again, they're likely ready for it. Looked like they caught them off guard there. They weren't set. But the hold brings this extra point try back to the 10, and the snap is fumbled by Martin, and he is brought down at the 20, slammed down, and surprisingly there's no flag. The crowd wants a flag, the sideline wants a flag, and they're not going to get it.
Looks like everybody wants a flag.
Obviously justifiable there. I mean, he looks like he super slammed him down. I don't know how they didn't call that unnecessary roughness after flagging Straley and Swanson early on the first drive for unsportsmanlike calls. So Quakertown goes up 8-0, and then it goes back to 6-0 after they failed the extra point try. Which could eventually mean something meaningful. It's a big swing early on in the game. Points may come not too easily as Quakertown's down their best player. It's a Pennridge offense that has not exactly been firing on all cylinders throughout this year.
It's still good to see that Quakertown was able to put up points in this first quarter because they struggled with that earlier in the season.
That is true. They started the opening 5 games of the year without any points in the first quarter, and then that finally changed in that Satterton and Ben Salem game. They finally were able to strike first in that first quarter.
The most points scored in a Thanksgiving game is 66 by Quakertown in 1970, so you're going to hope to see if they could try and break that record.
And the most points in a game by a single team was Quakertown with 66 in 1970. And a great story behind that game was Jeff Hollenbach, the at the time Pennridge quarterback. He goes into the Quakertown pep rally. He's talking to the crowd, and he says, "If we lose, you guys are welcome to join me at Thanksgiving dinner." So Quakertown and Pennridge face off on Thanksgiving. Pennridge wins or falls in that game 66-20. So the Pennridge quarterback, he's eating dinner at his house, and he hears multiple car horns as the kick was muffed by number 17 of Pennridge, but he was able to scoop that one back and return it to the 32. That was Xavier Dantzler. And he's eating Thanksgiving dinner with his family, and eventually he hears some car horns outside. He goes out to look, and he sees a group of Quakertown students with a car that says 66-28 and a Q on it, and he takes a picture. It eventually ends up in the Quakertown yearbook. Obviously a hilarious story for Hollenbach, who says he still hears about it whenever someone sees the name on a credit card or sees the name somewhere else, and they ask him, "Were you the guy?" And he says, "Yes, I was." And then Hollenbach eventually went to Illinois, starts at quarterback for 2 years, and then became the Pennridge head coach. So sticking to his hometown there. So here's Keating in the gun. They start at the 31 after that return, and Keating short throw, wrapped up. That's Devin Urey, the first-team Continental Conference linebacker, at the 36.
Devin Urey, also a junior. He has a bright future ahead of him in Quakertown.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 from the 35.
So it sets up 2nd and 7 now for Pennridge. Haven't lined up under center much. We expected to see that a little bit more, as they're more of a ground attack that functions under the center instead of in the gun, but possibly trying to fool Quakertown with some packages here, make them think possible pass and then go to run, but they're going to try to do it again on 2nd and 7 as Keating lines up in the gun with Fisher to his right. Man in motion for Pennridge, that's number 42, Nick Stolarski, as Keating tosses it to Fisher, who hauls it in with one hand. That's a great play. He tries the right side, might have picked up the first down too, and that is really crucial for Pennridge to not turn the ball over there as the toss was off target.
Taken out by Gavin Carroll.
There was great blocking on the right side of the play, which really helped set up that play. Also a great catch by the running back to save that potential fumble.
Man, that really would have swung things too for Quakertown to give him short field position. Already up 6-0 in this first quarter.
Official timeout on the field.
And there's an official timeout again. Multiple of these so far here today. Looks like there's been some confusion throughout this official group, which is something to watch for the rest of the game. So another funny story and headline surrounding this game is the Pennridge coach, Coach Berge. His sons actually play for Quakertown, Tyler and Aiden Berge. They're freshmen and sophomores. This is Coach Berge's first year as the Pennridge head coach, though. So this is the first time they're facing off on Thanksgiving. But it's a rivalry that I'm sure they'll look forward to for the next 3 to 4 years.
Aiden Berge also has 2 catches and 44 yards for Quakertown on the season.
I'm sure it would be nice for him to get in this game and score against his dad as Fisher takes it up the middle and he hauls it across midfield, brought down at the 45, in on the tackle. Multiple Quakertown defenders as that will wrap up the first quarter.
It was a very powerful one run by Brendan Fisher, and he helped himself fight for extra yards on that play.
Max Morris on the tackle for the Panthers.
So Quakertown goes into the second quarter up 6-0. They strike blood first, which is nice to see, as they can start to play a little bit more conservatively on offense if they're able to shut Pennridge's offense down. And we'll see if that 2-point conversion and then fumble on the extra point affects this game later on today. If you look at the combined records of these opponents of Quakertown and Pennridge throughout the season, Quakertown clocked in at 67-43. and Pennridge 60-42. So these two teams faced multiple good opponents throughout the year, which probably contribute a little bit to Pennridge's 2-8 record. Pennridge did lose to CB West and North Penn, which those two teams faced off in the postseason, and CB West now is in the district final against Garnet Valley, who Quakertown lost to in the first round of their playoff run, 63-14.
To recap last year's Thanksgiving game, Will Stike, now graduated, threw 8 for 16 with 67 yards and an interception. John Etherton, who is currently hurt, had 8 carries for 57 yards. Woodman had 22 carries, 107 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Zach Fondo hauled in 4 catches for 49 yards in a win.
The Quakertown offense really struggled in that game, but the defense shut down Pennridge's offense. It was the 33rd shutout all-time in this 93-year tradition between Quakertown and Pennridge. So we're going to start the second quarter here at the 46-yard line of Quakertown. Keating in the gun. He gives it up the middle. It's Fisher, who's brought down by Gavin Carroll in the backfield again, and Quakertown is swarming. No flags late, and there are none this time.
It was a great way to reach the running back in the backfield. That was a great play made.
That's Carroll's 55th total tackle this season. It's his 8th tackle for loss. Leads Quakertown in tackles. So it sets up 2nd and 13 now for this Pennridge offense, who's really not been able to establish the run here early. Multiple plays blown up in the backfield by Quakertown defensive linemen, and now Keating in the gun again in a passing situation. Who's going to look down the field, wants it all going deep, and it's hauled in by the Pennridge receiver, Nick Swanson.
Also another flag on the field.
Looks like this one's coming back. Quakertown sideline cheering. Crowd cheering. It's a hold on Pennridge.
Senior D lineman Nick Lonberger was also there hitting the quarterback on the play.
Looks like that Pennridge offensive line really gave him time, but possibly because of that hold, we saw Lonberger get there late. Probably would have been there earlier had he not been held. So Basili and Heilman check out for the Quakertown defense. So I believe that's going to make it 2nd and 23 for the Pennridge Rams offense.
This has been a great start by the Quakertown defense.
Really brought the pressure early. They've rattled Keating. Got him into multiple passing downs on 2nd and long situations. Could not really ask for more if you're George Bannis, the defensive play caller for Quakertown. Once again, another official timeout. I believe that's now the 3rd.
Looks like Coach Bannis might be trying to talk to the refs about something.
So another delay in this first half here.
New Pennridge head coach Coach Berge says this rivalry has been linked these two small towns for decades. It is vital that we hold on to these events for future Rams and Panthers.
And he's also referencing his son, both of his sons for that matter, Aiden and Tyler Berge. I'm sure he would love to face them as they get more playing time throughout their high school careers.
Coach Berge also says this year will certainly hold a special meaning, not only having the privilege of being a head coach, but also having the opportunity to compete against my sons, members of the Quakertown team this year.
I'm sure that's definitely an interesting Thanksgiving morning and Thanksgiving dinner for them. Probably talk about the game, or maybe they don't want to talk about it at all.
Well, if Quakertown wins this, I can definitely see that being a topic brought up at the dinner table.
I for sure would like to bring that up to my dad if I beat him in Thanksgiving. So Keating now is going to look on 2nd and 22 to throw. He tries the left side. Quick flat throw brought down at the 46. Sets up 3rd and long now for this Rams offense.
Looked like it.
Connor Laley, the target there for Pennridge. So it's a short pickup there on 2nd and long for Pennridge. Likely trying to play the field position game. Don't want to give Quakertown too great a field position after they struck first early here in the first quarter. So now Keating in the gun on 3rd and 18. Maybe a draw or a screen. We'll see what they try. They bring a man in motion. That's Laley. 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen as Keating looks to throw. He's under pressure. He's swarmed. Tries to get it away, and he does. Brought down there by Nick Lonenberger, number 55, again, as Bannis is begging for intentional grounding. Still no flag, though.
Nick Lonberger also in there to hit the quarterback. It looks like the whole crowd is also begging for a flag.
I didn't see a receiver in the area. I don't think he was out of the... Maybe was able to escape out of the pocket, but it didn't look like that to me. So no flag is thrown. It's going to set up 4th and 18 either way, so Quakertown's going to get the ball back, but you would have liked that for the field position game. So back deep to return now as Morris and for Quakertown, Pennridge boots this away to the right side towards Morris, and it goes out of bounds at around the 33.
I don't think that's what Pennridge's punter was looking for.
Kind of a rainbow type of punt there. Didn't have a lot of distance on it.
And it sets up great field position for Quakertown's offense to start off this quarter.
Quakertown will go to the offense. First down and 10 from the 32-yard line.
So here comes the Quakertown offense after that last touchdown drive. Led by Aiden Whiteley, who capped it off. Got down there with the help by Brett Heilman and Vince McCucci on that big play action throw. They'll go two backs in the backfield here. They give the handoff to Gavin Carroll, who tries the right guard, and he picks up a solid gain on first down, a gain of around 3.
Quakertown has really liked to use this split back formation in the backfield with 2 running backs, and it looks like it's really been working this game, so expect to see them keep that up throughout the game.
Really big for them in short yardage situations, as they're going to have to continue to pick them up throughout this game here today. So they give them 4 yards on first down. It sets up 2nd and 6 from the 36. And they go back to the same formation. Just over 9 to play here in the second quarter as McCucci gives it to Heilman. He tries the left guard this time, and a big pickup for Heilman. He gets the first down and more out across the midfield. And once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep going back to it. No reason not to if you're Quakertown.
That was a great rush by senior running back Brett Heilman, who has 191 yards on the season so far. He also has 9 touchdowns, so he's been a touchdown machine throughout the season.
So 1st and 10 from the 49 now for McCucci as they go back to the same formation. Why not? Give it to Carroll. Tries the left side. He gets a big hole as Carroll's crossed the 35, brought down at the 33, and the Quakertown rushing offense is leading this team here on this drive.
Look like great outside blocks by the pulling guard, and the tackle really helped Gavin Carroll pick up some key yards there.
Looked like Jagers was one of the tight ends, helped spring him free. That left side led by Vinny Pellegrini, also able to help break him free. Ball spotted at the 33 now, and they go right back to the same formation. Why not? McCucci under center. They give it to Heilman. He tries the left side. He's brought down. Nice tackle by Connor Laley as Heilman was fighting forward for some extra yardage. So that's going to set them up in 2nd and around 10-ish now. We'll see if they go back to that same formation or if they elect to try to throw off of that formation, as Pennridge is probably going to keep biting on this run. Actually picked up around 4 yards there, so I guess he fell forward for some extra yards at the end of that play. Looked like he was laying on one of the Pennridge defenders. I thought they ruled him down, but I guess they did not. They gave him the extra yardage for Heilman, so that's a nice play. So now Quakertown goes trips to the right. McCucci looks that way. He's under pressure, and he's hit as he throws, looking for Morris. That play was just blown up. My number 8 for Pennridge. That's Tyler Wetzel, the DB who came on the blitz from the edge.
Tyler Wetzel has really shown a lot of explosion throughout the season, so it's not a surprise here to see him make that play in this game.
It was a huge hit on McCucci. Forced that ball to come out wobbly and inaccurate. So now it's 3rd and 6 from the 29, possibly 4 down territory here. We'll see if they try to run, maybe pick up some yards, and they get 4th and manageable. They elect to not do so as McCucci's going to try to throw, looking for the right side. He's going, and he's got it! Strailing on the sideline. Huge pickup. 1st down for Quakertown.
Vince's scrambling ability really makes it way easier to get off throws like that throughout the game.
And that's Straley's 18th catch of the season. Just over 250 yards so far today.
You could even see Vince on that play telling Adam to keep going towards the sideline so he could fit in a good throw there.
And Vince has become really good at that throughout the year, able to make plays, scramble drill. As a timeout is called here, Vince is pumping up the sideline in the crowd. He's fired up. This offense is feeling good, and you could feel this momentum geared towards Quakertown here as they're really getting something going on offense.
Vince is definitely adding on to his 1,219 passing yards this season, also tagged along with 13 touchdowns on the season.
So as we mentioned before, Quakertown has 18 wins at home. They're 18-25-3 overall at home, and they're 11-33-2 on the road. So they're really able to rally around this crowd. They feel the energy for sure on that field. They hear it, and I'm sure that they're looking for more of that energy today.
Also, the rushing ability of Vince McCucci has also led him to be the second leading rusher on the season at 392 rushing yards.
So Morris lines up at the bottom here. Looks like they called the play during the timeout. McCucci's going to go under center. It's that same two-back formation from the 22 now. They give it. It's Heilman, and he's stuffed in the backfield. Nice tackle made there by Pennridge's number 44. That's
Hunter Burdick, linebacker senior.
And Burdick's a part of that big duo for Pennridge. Both of them, Hunter Burdick and Dylan O'Brien. They both are second-team National Conference members. They really anchor that Pennridge rushing defense. Also accompanied by Tyler Wetzel, who we saw make a big pressure on Vince McCucci early. So it's 2nd and 9 now. It's McCucci under center. He gives it, tries the left side. It's Carroll, and Carroll once again is swarmed, but he falls for some extra yards. Gets a solid pickup as a flag is thrown late. Maybe a late unsportsmanlike call on Pennridge again.
That was a great rush by Carroll.
Yeah, he looked like he got contacted around the line of scrimmage and then was able to pick up around 4 to 5 yards, which is huge. And now the refs are discussing the penalty. Just under 6.5 to play. It looks like it's on Pennridge, and it is. So how about that? Another flag on Pennridge late that gives Quakertown some extra yardage. It's going to likely give them first down yardage, and it does.
Going back to the Dylan O'Brien and Hunter Burdick second team, they are actually replacing Phil Bacati, who transferred to IMG Academy in the offseason before committing to Oklahoma.
Bringing up first down and goal for Quakertown.
Bacati really anchored that Pennridge front last season. Was a big part of stuffing Tyler Woodman and John Etherton in that Thanksgiving 2021 game. As there's movement early on the Quakertown line, looks like a false start.
It's been a lot of flags throughout the game.
A lot of undisciplined play, possibly due to the large time off.
Another flag.
Uh-oh. And there's a scrum here and another late flag. Couldn't see who that was on. It looked like Pellegrini and Keon Lopez of Quakertown's front getting into it with the Pennridge D-line.
This looks like Vincent Pellegrini is mad at something. They're trying to calm him down.
Yeah, we saw Heilman trying to talk to him. Now
Jader's pulling him out.
Yeah, Bannis is out on the field. And we understand the high intensity of this rivalry, but you just have to stay smart. Bring the energy without costing your team any yardage. And
looks like number 55 on Pennridge may have got pulled out of the game. Another flag.
Oh, another flag comes in late now, and it looks like that's probably on Pennridge. And the crowd is loving it right now. They feel the energy on the field. They feel the energy in the crowd.
I see maybe 4 flags on the field right now.
And I'm sure this is going to be fun to figure out if you're a referee.
Might set up first and a yard.
Now Berge out on the field. Bannis and him are going to meet. Can hear the crowd yelling
to kick him out.
They want him kicked out.
John trying to amp up the crowd here.
And they're loving it here. They are ready. Pellegrini, who was in on the scrum now, trying to fire the student section up. And now we have a meeting at midfield between the two head coaches and the referees.
You could hear Quakertown sideline cheering for him alongside with the crowd chanting, "Let's go Bannis."
So just to give you a look at how much these two teams hate each other, we just saw it here, but in 2004, Pennridge faced North Penn in a playoff game the week before the Thanksgiving game, and obviously if they win that game and advance to the next round, Quakertown and Pennridge would not have been able to play on Thanksgiving. So Quakertown players travel to the game, they go to North Penn, and they root for North Penn so that they could play Pennridge sooner and on Thanksgiving. So Quakertown coach John Donnelly, he said they were down there hanging out with the North Penn students, and I'm surprised they didn't run out on the field after the game. So that just goes to show you how much these two teams do not like each other. Even the crowds are getting into it now. You see a Quakertown fan holding up an L towards the Pennridge sideline.
It looks like the whole Quakertown sideline has went towards Bannis and the refs. Looks like Bannis is trying to get a team message across.
Sure, it's something along the lines of understanding the intensity, but you just can't cost your team.
As a "Let's Go Panthers" chant starts on the in the crowd.
And this crowd is ready to erupt. I'm sure a touchdown here will go a long way towards fueling the momentum in Quakertown's favor. Pennridge's defense finally coming back out onto the field. Refs are still talking. We don't know what the penalties are. I would assume that they're likely on both teams. You would have to guess.
You gotta hope that the refs decide on a call soon. I might have to go home and help make a turkey. So
Yeah, we got things to do, man.
it's a busy day
Taking
today.
their sweet time here.
I understand that there's a lot of flags, but
First, second, and third place.
Still looking over now to the Pennridge sideline. Now we're finally getting a ruling, I think. That looks like a false start, which was the first penalty. And now, something on Pennridge.
offsides.
I have no idea what he just signaled, honestly. Now I think he calls
a
another
lot of things
unsportsmanlike
against
conduct.
Pennridge right here.
That looked like 2 unsportsmanlike conducts on Pennridge. So it looks like that'll set up Quakertown now at the 3.
That was 2 unsportsmanlike conducts against Pennridge.
So obviously we couldn't see what's going on down there at the line of scrimmage amidst the scrum, but safe to assume, I guess, that Pennridge instigated it and then Pellegrini's reaction followed. So then they flagged Pennridge for it, and now it's going to set up 1st and 3 for Quakertown. And this crowd, as I mentioned earlier, is ready for this score. See if they're able to give it to him as they give it up the middle to Whiteley again, looking for his second, and he's stuffed. Looks like he got that down to the 1 yard line, though, so another short yardage situation.
A score here could really shift the whole momentum into Quakertown's favor.
No reason not to go back to that split back formation. It's Whiteley and Heilman. Whiteley looking for his second, maybe a Vince sneak. Man in motion, it's Jagers. They give it to Whiteley, looking for number 2, and he is into the end zone. Quakertown, once again, short yardage situation. Aiden Whiteley picks it up, and it's now 12-0 Panthers early on in the first half.
Gotta hope they get off the field without an excessive celebration penalty here.
Wouldn't be surprised to see them flag him for that, as we've seen it earlier. So Quakertown's offense is going to stay on the field, looking to make it an even 14-0 instead of 12. It's Whiteley and Heilman the backs again. McCucci, Whiteley tries the right side. Did he get in? Yes, he did. Quakertown makes it 14-0 as Aiden Whiteley with his 3rd conversion in short yardage situations for Quakertown. So we see the guys stepping up without Etherton. We're sure that he loves to be out there. Aiden Whiteley making some huge plays in this big rivalry.
Aiden Whiteley is also a sophomore, so it looks like this might translate into his future carries throughout his Quakertown career.
Sure he'll be ready for next season's game and the year beyond that, as McCucci signaled over to that student section, getting them fired up. As you could just feel the momentum at Alumni Field shifting towards this Quakertown sideline. Pennridge and their crowd looks almost motionless right now. So it's under 6 to play. Pennridge will have a chance to get on the board before the end of this half. Quakertown does get the ball to start the second half, though, so this is a huge drive for Pennridge. You don't want to allow them, the Quakertown Panthers, to go up 2 possessions, then get the ball at half.
As Nick was saying in the quote that we had, containing Brennan Fisher could really help Quakertown get the win here, and it looks like they've been able to do that thus far.
They have so far, as it's Wackerman kicking it away for Quakertown. He actually took over the PAT duties around midseason, and since then he's gone 11 of 11. As Wackerman boots this one towards the left side, taking it about the 15 is Pennridge's Connor Laley. He tries to get towards the outside as Gavin Carroll is there to meet him at the 34. Once again, some extracurricular activities going on after the play, but no flag this time. So Pennridge will start at the 34 as Keating comes on after not being able to pick up a fourth down around midfield. And then after a punt that set up Quakertown with good field position. So this offense has not done the job that they've been looking to do so far today.
If you're on the Pennridge sideline, you're definitely hoping for a score here to maybe not completely ruin this game and get some momentum back in your favor. If you're Quakertown, you definitely want to get a big stop here because it could really put the nail in the coffin.
So here's Keating now. He sets up in the gun with Fisher, the man in the backfield again. Looks like a little bit of confusion with number 8, Tyler Wetzel. As a man in motion for Pennridge, Heilman shifts over. Whistle by the officials. Timeout taken by Pennridge. So after all that time during the kickoff, before the kickoff, they were unable to get set up on their first offensive play. Possibly some inexperience showing here for the first-year head coach, Chuck Berge. And since 1930, there have been 13 head coaches that Quakertown have been led into this game by, while 11 have led Pennridge.
Coach Banis is from dating back 2010 to present day, is 3-9 in Thanksgiving games, and he definitely looks to improve on that record today.
And Berge took over the head coaching duties this offseason in replace of Coach Mueller, who stepped down after going 3-1 in Thanksgiving games from 2018 to 21 as he brought great success to this program, who made it to the final in 2020 during the COVID year, and then a nice successful 7-5 season last year. Coach Berge looking to replicate that next year after his first year didn't go the way he wanted to, as Quakertown is there to wrap up Brendan Fisher again.
Looked like Anthony Ferrugia was the one who initially made the hit, which let the rest of the D-line get up to him.
And Rashino walks away with his hands held up, trying not to get flagged, and he was successful. Looks like Rashino's going to come out here. Something stuck in his helmet, maybe. And Pellegrini will check in for him here. So just 5 to play now in this second quarter. 2-by-2 set for Pennridge. Keating looking towards the right side. It's a quick out route. Timing not there. Sets up third down now.
Looks like Noah Keating hasn't really been able to get in the groove this game. He's definitely going to look to do that maybe in the second half.
That one was intended for Jake Holt, the senior receiver. So far, his go-to man's been Swanson in these passing situations.
Swanson also a sophomore for Pennridge, so it looks like Noah Keating and Nick Swanson can potentially build on their chemistry in the future.
So Pennridge is going to go trips to the left, one wide receiver at the bottom, that's Holt. One back in the backfield, it's Fisher. So Keating looks on third down. He's under pressure, and it is almost intercepted, and this one is tipped, but it looks like it hit the ground.
Nick Lawnberger in there for the hit again. He's been making a lot of big plays this game.
And we've seen Laudenberger getting some pressure on Keating, really rallying him. Looked like that was Carroll there who was able to tip that one into the air. It was almost picked off, but it hit the ground. So another punt coming up for Pennridge. It'll be Xavier Dantzler. See where they kick it towards here. It's a weird snap. This one's booted into the air again. Morris is going to let this one bounce. Quakertown will let this one fall to about the 31-yard line. Once again, not terrible field position for the Quakertown offense.
Pennridge's punter looks like he's trying to avoid punting it to Max Morris, who has 546 kick return yards this season. The average is about 21.8 per return.
So 4.5 to play here in this first half. Quakertown does get the ball to start the second half. So they're looking to double dip here. Possibly go up 3 possessions. split back formation again for Quakertown. Now on 1st and 10, they give it. It's Carroll, tries the left. He gets to about the 39-yard line. So once again, a solid pickup in this formation we've seen a lot of from Quakertown so far.
Quakertown's running game this game has really been amazing for them, and it's set up some big passing plays.
Yeah, we saw the play action earlier. Got Heilman open deep.
This is the best the offense has been looking all season.
It really has, and they need it here in this historic rivalry between these two towns. And now McCucci's going to take it on the quarterback power. He tries the left, and he's pushed out of bounds. It looks like he's shy of the first down, and he is short of it. It's going to set up 3rd and 1.
Once again, McCucci being the second leading rusher, and now first on the team now that John isn't playing. So expect to see a lot more plays like that.
Oh, they do give him the first down. He looks short to me, but we're not going to complain about that generous spot. So the ball spotted at the 42. Thought he got pushed out at around the 41, but we will not complain, as I said earlier. So now McCucci starts in the gun now. 1st and 10. McCucci fakes the handoff. He's rolling right. He's under pressure. There's a flag thrown, and he's going to dump this one out of bounds. Based upon the area of that flag thrown around the 40, probably a hold on Quakertown.
Quakertown's offense is already moving back.
And it is a hold against Quakertown. It'll set up 1st and 20. So the ball will be spotted at the 32 after that 10-yard loss. So a little bit more about Coach Berge. He is the first-year head coach, but he is actually the defensive coordinator for Pennridge, so he calls the defensive play calls. He was an assistant for the last 3 seasons under Mueller, but he's been a part of the Pennridge School District for the last 12 years. And it was an in-depth coaching search by the Pennridge administration. They looked at 19 different candidates, and they ended up going with Berge, who is looking to lead this Pennridge team for years to come, as McCucci dumps this one short to Heilman. Looks like he might have lost yardage, maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll set up 2nd and 20.
That looked like a screenplay that really got blown up in the backfield, so you had to make the most out of it.
And that's the smart play there for Quakertown. It wouldn't hurt for Vince to throw it away as he did on 1st down. You don't want to do anything stupid, as you already have the lead. You have 3 minutes to play and you're getting the ball to start the next half, so there's no reason to force a pass, possibly turn it over. Give Pennridge good field position, which is the last thing you want to do, as their offense has really not been able to move. So this time it's one back in the backfield. McCucci lines up under center now on 2nd and 21. Morris in motion. He fakes it to Morris. Now rolling to his right. He's looking for a man. He's under pressure. He throws to the right side over for Jaggers, and it's tipped off his hands and out of bounds.
That was actually great blocking there by Brian Henderzak. He was able to really keep Vince safe for as long as possible, although the pass was broken up.
Gave him time to try to do something. He looked for Jaggers. He's got 8 catches on the season. Senior tight end, who really helps this running game out with his blocking. So it's 3rd and 21. You would think Quakertown would be inclined to possibly run it here, maybe screen it, try to pick up some yards. It's unlikely you're going to pick up a 3rd and 21 through the air. But never say never. We'll see what they try. But McCucci lines up under center. He gives it to Carroll. And he's tackled at about the 38. Brought down to his knees, and that'll force a Quakertown punt for the first time today.
Now Quakertown's job is just to keep the other team out of the end zone as we go into the second half.
Got to let the clock run here. Try to drip as much as you can off. It'll be McCucci handling the punting duties as he has all year. He's got 35 total punts for 1,282 yards. He averages 36.6 yards per punt He's got 8 inside the 20. Likely a tough ass to get it inside the 20 here, as he's going to be punting from his own 38-yard line.
That also means that Vince plays every single down on every single offensive possession.
And earlier on in the year, he also started at safety during Etherton's absence, so he ended up playing pretty much every snap for Quakertown beyond extra point duties. So Quakertown lets the play clock tick all the way down, then use their first charged timeout. So far, what we look for if you were Quakertown, you wanted to stop the run, you wanted to play the field position game, and you wanted to get the ball out of the hands of Vince Picucci early. And so far, they've pretty much done 2 out of the things perfectly well. And the third thing they haven't done, but they haven't needed to do it, as they had a long play action, deep pass to Brett Heilman. And then if you look across to the other sideline, you see the Pennridge offense that wanted to get the ground attack going, establish the run, and so far it hasn't worked.
The ground game has been really, really good for Quakertown's offense, even without their leading rusher, so they definitely look to keep that up during the second half.
You can definitely contribute that to that offensive line that has done a great job so far today. So 1:53 to play here. McCucci looking to get a nice punt off. It'll be number 25 for Pennridge returning it. That's Sam Coons. Also back is Connor Laley. McCucci's going to punt this one in the direction of Coons. It looks like no, they're going to both let it bounce. This time it's taken by Coons. He tries the middle, brought down at about the 35-yard line.
Looked like Gavin Carroll with the hit there.
Carroll's really shown up everywhere. He's playing defense, he's playing special teams, he's playing offense. He's really doing everything you can ask for. So here comes this Pennridge offense, still shut out. They've now got 0 points in the last 6 quarters of play during these Thanksgiving games, as they were shut out last season too.
First and 10 from the 36.
So they're going to go empty here with 1:41 to play. Trips to the right and 2 wide receivers to his left. This Keating. Quakertown shows blitz. They send it. Jefferson with the pressure. Keating gets it out quick to the left side. That's Holt, the senior receiver, who makes a nice play to pick up the first down and more. He's across midfield, brought down at around the 46.
Looked like Jefferson went in unblocked there, but Keating was still able to make the quick throw to the receiver.
He had nobody in the block for him, but he got it out quick. That's exactly what you have to do in that situation. Then you get space for your guy to make a play. Now Quakertown sends the blitz again. It's the exact same play out the hole. The curl on the left side, pushed out of bounds by Reagan Payne, the corner.
Looks like Jefferson went in again unblocked, so maybe that's a design by Pennridge's offense. Although I don't think that's a design that you're really looking for.
I would like to see them try that design again here. But with 1:21 now, another timeout taken by Quakertown's defense this time. And if Pennridge shows that same look, you would think they'd try to go back to the blitz, maybe sit on the underneath routes a little bit more, as Keating is forced to get that one out immediately, as they send 6 guys with 5 in to protect them. Pennridge has 1 timeout remaining in this 2-minute situation, so you could still work the middle of the field. You still have the sidelines. You really can do anything you want.
Quakertown taking this timeout. Quakertown.
Looks like Quakertown took the timeout.
So the ball spotted at the 37. He did not get the first down, as he was shoved out across around the 37-yard line by Payne, the corner of Quakertown.
2nd and 1.
And once again, it's the same look. Let's see if Quakertown sends the blitz. Maybe elect to drop into coverage. Jefferson's blitzing again. Keating has to get it off. They look deep for Fisher. Fisher's unable to haul it in. Heilman in on the coverage through his hands.
You could tell Fisher's upset by that play. He really thought that he could have caught that. Jefferson also went in unblocked again.
So
that time he was a little bit later than normal.
Looked like he started trying to bluff it. Started in coverage, then went in unblocked. And we said that maybe if you're Quakertown, you want to sit on the underneath routes, as you might not have enough time if you're Keating. But Keating went deep there for Fisher. unable to haul it in, but he had him open. So we'll see now what they try to do. Maybe the same formation, and this time they finally bring it back into the backfield to help protect. It's Fisher. And it's 3rd and 1. So you have to pick this up if you're Pennridge. It is 4-down territory, you'd have to guess. As Keening's going to throw. It's tipped into the air by Gavin Carroll. Almost picked that one off. He was right into the passing lane.
Gavin Carroll with another huge play there. It looks like he may have hurt his hand on the play, though.
It would be a big loss for this Quakertown offense, defense, and special teams. As it sets up 4th and 1, though. If you're Pennridge, you would have to think you were going to go for this. With clock ticking down in this first half.
They might choose to run it up the middle, but that also might leave the clock running.
They do have the 1 timeout, though, so they would be able to stop it if needed. But you have to pick up this first down, and they're going to line up in the I. Would have to think run. We'll see. So here's Keating. 4th and 1. They sneak it like they did earlier, and he picks it up.
It's been a go-to play for Pennridge on short yardage situations.
2nd time today. So the clock will run, though. Pennridge is going to go up tempo, try to get to the line quick. Looks like there's some confusion, though.
They also elect to not use that timeout.
So Swanson shifts over to the other side of the field. They go empty again. Let's see if they blitz. Jefferson comes towards the line. Keating gets it quick to Swanson. Tries the left side, and he's pushed out of bounds again.
By Reagan Payne. Reagan Payne with a huge tackle there.
I feel like I'm experiencing some deja vu. It's the 3rd time on this drive we've seen that exact same result. They send the blitz. He gets it out quick to the left side.
Looked like the blocking was a lot better on that play because Cody Jefferson did not go unblocked. So maybe just a lot of miscommunication on the first 2.
Still a numbers game, though. You got 6 guys blitzing and 5 in protection. You're going to have a man on block, but
They are getting back to it.
Exactly. They're getting their way down the field, so we'll see. They line up and empty again. Here comes the blitz again. It's Jefferson with the pressure going for Fisher. It is intercepted. Back the other way on the return. It's Adam Straley who's down at the 18. It's a huge play as a flag is thrown late. Would have to think that's probably after the play, though, which would keep the interception but would push them back, which you would not mind if you're Quakertown, as you have 42 seconds either way.
Cody also went in unblocked on that play, and Adam was able to make the play. Against Pennridge.
It is actually against Pennridge, so that helps Quakertown even more.
That may have been after the play, maybe some frustration on Pennridge's side.
So they're moved back to the 33, you would have to assume if he was brought down at the 18, assuming it's a 15-yard penalty. And it is indeed moved to the 34.
42 seconds left in the game. Got to see if Quakertown wants to make a play here for another touchdown to add on to their lead.
So they have 1 timeout. They used 2 on that last drive. Have to really use the sidelines, though. You have 42 seconds. You're not really able to kick from too great of distance. Your target distance is maybe around the 15.
Jacob Wackerman, the kicker, actually took over PAT duties for Council Rock North game and is 11 for 11 on the season.
Yeah, Quakertown's just going to kneel this one down. Let this one tick down to the end of the first half.
Not a bad decision here.
Once again, try not to do anything stupid. You can't really complain. As they're going to come off the field, hyping up the crowd. As they head into the locker room with a 2-possession lead, 14-0. Quakertown leads at the break. Pennridge's offense unable to really get anything going. They had a threat there at the end of the half, but eventually the turnover from Keating. And Aiden Whiteley and Gavin Carroll, Nick Laudenberger, 3 guys that we have called the names of a lot. Whiteley with 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. Laudenberger with multiple pressures and a tackle for loss. And Carroll has played all 3 sides of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams so far today.
I'd expect a lot of yelling in this Pennridge locker room.
Have to get
Been
some
there before.
intensity. Exactly. Got to get this intensity going if you're Coach Berge. Try to get them fired up. As we will head into the break, Quakertown 14, Pennridge nothing. We'll see you for the start of the second half.
Sides, Alumni Field. If you're sitting in the stands to your right, thanks to our game sponsors today, Dave Services, Rexsite Contracting, Sands Chrysler Jeep, Dodge, Spores, and United Integrity Group. Also thanks to our game ball sponsors, Applebee's and Penn Stainless. Don't forget the Panther shed is open just inside the 8th Street entrance gate. You can stop by and get souvenirs and show your support for Quakertown Panther football. Also, Basile, Levenchuk, and Pierce, your gift certificates are available here in the tower from the Booster Club. Come upstairs and claim them, please. Again, the Panther shed is open inside the 8th Street entrance gate if you'd like to get your end of the season souvenirs of Quakertown Panther football and support the Booster Club. We also have a phone that was lost. Someone lost it and turned it in. We have it here in the tower. If you could identify it, you can claim your lost phone here at the announcer's tower. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Again, welcome to Homecoming 2022. The student body of Quakertown Community Senior High School is proud to present to you the members of the 2022 Homecoming Court. These individuals were initially selected by the class of 2023 to represent the senior class on homecoming court. The entire student body then had the opportunity to vote in the election to select the homecoming queen and king. It is our pleasure this morning to present to you the members of the court and their proud escorts. Again, it is our pleasure this morning to present to you the members of the court and their proud escorts for Homecoming 2022. Aspen Braun, daughter of Dana Braun. Aspen was selected to have her artwork displayed in the Doylestown Art Show, has a black belt in martial arts, and was awarded Little Miss Sunshine in 6th grade. Aspen is escorted this morning by her mother, Dana, and her older sister, Hannah, a 2020 Quakertown graduate. Nico Basili, son of Angela and John Basili. John is a member of the Quakertown Panther football team and is escorted on the field by his significant other, Kaylee Grandi. Mia Hibbsman, daughter of Tracy and Andrew Hibbsman. Mia plays travel and high school lacrosse, is a member of Student Council, National Honor Society, and Best Buddies, and is a student section leader. Mia works at the Trolley Barn. Mia is escorted today by her brother Nolan, a 2020 Quakertown graduate, and her boyfriend Joey Peasy, a member of the class of 2023. Dan Jasinski. Dan, son of Beth and Michael Jasinski. Dan is a captain of both indoor and outdoor track teams, brass captain and section leader for the Panther Marching Band, member of the Jazz Band. Dan participates in the Halloween and Memorial Day Parade and ceremony, as well as volunteer work through Boy Scouts. Dan is escorted by his parents, Beth and Michael. Julie Peasy, daughter of Kristen and Jeremy Peasy. Julie is president of Best Buddies, a member of Student Ambassadors and Future Business Leaders of America. She's a goalie for the field hockey team where she received an all-league honorable mention, a defender on the lacrosse team. Julie is a Giacomo's cake decorator and CEO of her cake business. She donates money to World Vision and believes in shopping at small businesses. Julie is escorted on the field by her mother, Kristen, and her cousin, Landon Darrow. Jacob Wackerman, son of Linda and Dean Wackerman. Jacob plays football and lacrosse. He is a member of the National Honor Society, Best Buddies, Minithon, and Ski Club. Jacob has earned the rank of Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts organization. Jacob is escorted by his mother, Linda, father Dean, a Quakertown class of 1978 alum. Rachel Sabo, daughter of Christy and Eric Sabo. Rachel is president of the Theater Club, member of past manager of the Varsity Singers, award winner from the Shakespeare competition, and prom princess. She volunteers at animal shelters, food pantries, and the Lehigh Valley Zoo. Rachel is escorted this morning by her brother Caleb, Quakertown class of 2017, and Josh, Quakertown class of 2020. Bryce Widows, son of Oceana Lonergan. Bryce is a member of Varsity Singers for 2 years, choir council member for 2 years, and the National Honor Society. Bryce is an American Legion Award winner, 2-time Student of the Month, is on Brian Fitzpatrick's Student Task Force, and a student representative on the school board. Bryce is escorted by his sister Lexis Lonergan, a current 10th grader at Quakertown High School, and his mother Oceana. Kate Durstein, daughter of Amelia and David Durstein. Kate is secretary of the National Honor Society, student forum president, student council president, Key Club secretary, and a student section leader. She's a 4-year high school lacrosse player, as well as travel club lacrosse starter. She has received the AP Capstone Award and AP Scholar Award. Kate also works at the Trolley Barn. Kate is escorted in the field by her brother Jake, a Quakertown class of 2021 alum, and Ty Wilkin, her boyfriend and fellow court member. Ty Wilkin, son of Melissa and Mark Wilkin. Ty is president of the National Honor Society, class officer of the class of 2023, executive member of the Student Council, treasurer of Key Club, student ambassador, Best Buddies member, and student section leader. He is the varsity golf captain and varsity basketball captain. Ty has over 200 hours of service to the local community and country, ranging from participation in food drives to Christmas caroling and nursing homes. Ty is escorted by his mother Melissa, sister Sadie, 5th grader at Trumbowersville Elementary, and his girlfriend Kate, also a member of the homecoming court. At this time, we would like to welcome back Quakertown High School 2021 homecoming king and queen, Ty Everett and Brooke Ziemba, who will be presenting the crowns to the new king and queen. Ty is a freshman at Washington College, where he is playing baseball and majoring in business. Brooke is attending Westchester University, majoring in music education. She is a current musician in the highest wind ensemble and wind symphony at the university. She was also a part of the incomparable Golden Rams marching band that will be performing in the Rose Parade in California, January 1st of 2024. Brooke is excited to see what her future holds and the opportunities at hand in the upcoming years. And now, it gives us great pleasure to crown the 2022 Quakertown High School homecoming king and queen. Our king is Ty Wilkin. Our queen is Aspen Braun. Congratulations to our king and queen and to all of our homecoming royalty. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of today's game. Go Panthers! Congratulations again, King Ty Wilkin and Queen Aspen Braun for 2022. He's on. Once again, congratulations and thank you to the entire homecoming court for 2022. Thanks to the Panther Marching Band for their participation as well in homecoming 2022. We have received a note from the Panther Booster Club due to the overwhelming great response in the 50-50 raffle. Tickets are still available. We will be pulling the ticket at the end of the third quarter. So if you still need to get your tickets, they are available at the Panther shed inside the 8th Street entrance gate. Again, tickets will continue to be sold until the end of we will sell them till the end of the third quarter. That's when we will do the drawing for the 50-50. Thanks again, our game ball sponsors today, Applebee's and Penn Stainless. Our game sponsors, United Integrity Group, handling all of your Medicare supplemental needs, proudly supporting the Quakertown Panthers and the Upper Bucks community. Spores General Store, open every day, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, family owned and operated for over 40 years. Sands Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge, and Ram of Quakertown, proudly supporting Quakertown High School and the 2022 Quakertown High School Panther football team. Rick Stike Contracting. Let's go Panthers. It has been a pleasure to watch you boys become men. Play like there's no tomorrow. Play like champions. And Dave Services, Tree and Lawn Care. Call them at 215-778-6110. Dave Services, Rick Stike Contracting, Sands Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram, Spores, and United Integrity Group are game sponsors for Thanksgiving 2022.
Hello and welcome back to the second half of this Quakertown Pennridge 93rd annual edition of Thanksgiving Day football. Quakertown leads 14-0 headed into the break. They will receive the ball to start the second half. And Jack, when you look at this offense, there's been a trend that we've identified that they've really stuck to and been able to lead the team down the field.
The rushing attack has really been amazing for Quakertown. It's really also helped open up big passing plays by led by Vincent McCucci's arm. The split back with new 2 running backs have really helped the offense in the first half, and they look to add upon that in the second half.
Aiden Whiteley with 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion here today, responsible for pretty much all of Quakertown's points. And
Gavin Carroll also helping him with that rushing attack. He may have gotten his hand looked at halftime after breaking up a key pass on one of the Quakertown defensive plays.
we did see Carroll out there during the warm-ups and stretch, and he is lined up now with the special teams unit in the huddle, so that's a good sign for his availability in the second half.
That's great to see because he was really a key part of the rushing attack in the first half, led by himself.
And meanwhile, when you look at the Pennridge offense, really have not gotten anything going. The rushing attack, not really doing anything. The passing game has had some flashes, but multiple penalties and mistakes have set them back here so far today.
It's really been containing Brendan Fisher, has really helped Quakertown's defense keep him off the board so far.
Yeah, the Army commit during the offseason had a pass sail through his hands on that crucial drive for Pennridge that resulted in nothing.
Pennridge used the 5 wide set a lot during the final drive, which led to an interception by freshman quarterback
Noah Keating. In on that pick was Adam Straley. He had the first penalty of the game and then unsportsmanlike conduct, which gave Pennridge a fresh set of downs, but he made up for his mistake there. Obviously, it was a high-intensity half filled with flags and arguments and some pushing and shoving after the play, but we are set to go to start the second half as Pennridge boots this one away in the direction of Brady Martin, who gives the fake towards Morris and now takes it up the middle down to the 35, and a flag is thrown. Looks like that's on Pennridge on the tackle.
Looked like Connor Laley on the tackle there for Pennridge.
He's talking to the refs after the play, and it is a face mask on Pennridge. So multiple mistakes by this Pennridge team, which you just cannot afford when your margin of error is pretty small with a freshman quarterback and a defense that has done pretty much a solid job here in that first half.
They were not a very disciplined team, especially by the goal line, getting 2 unsportsmanlike conducts on 1 drive. Actually on 1 play, which really set up Quakertown for another score.
And it negated the false start by Quakertown before the play. And now after that face mask, Quakertown's going to start across midfield at Pennridge's 49. And McCucci starts in this split back formation. He gives it to Carroll, and Carroll's brought down at around the 44 after a solid pickup of 5.
Looks like the hand is good. It is wrapped up a little bit, but
he's able to play through it without pain or manageable pain. Then no reason for him to not be back out there. I'm sure he wants to be on the field under any circumstances.
Especially on the last game of the season, although he has a bright future ahead of him at Quakertown.
And that's something we didn't really talk about, but this is the last game for many of these seniors out in the field today as McCucci gives it to one of them. That's Brett Heilman, the leader in rushing touchdowns with 9 on the season. He's short of the first down yardage. It'll set up 3rd and 1.
Brett Heilman has also been a really key piece to this defense so far in the first half, making a lot of big plays in the first half.
3rd and 3 from the 42.
Looks like it's going to be 3rd and 2. 3rd and a long 2. So here's McCucci under center. Split back formation. McCucci tosses it. Left side, it's Carroll. He got the first down and more. He's out to the 35.
Gavin Carroll keeps making the big plays when his name is called. He's going to set himself up for a lot more touches throughout his career here.
Something we didn't expect to see today. We really only saw Carroll defensively and at linebacker and occasionally on special teams, but he's stepped up on all 3 phases here today.
Because of John's injury, it looks like a lot of Quakertown players have really had to step up, and they've been doing so thus far.
Same formation. It's Whiteley and Heilman the backs. It's Heilman on the carry. Across the 30. Solid pickup again. They're just getting chunks and chunks of yardage with this inside running game. This time he picks up 6.
Even with Dylan O'Brien and Hunter Burdick being second team both linebackers, it looks like they've really been struggling to stop the run here.
Gain of 6, second and 4 from the 29.
So now here's 2nd and 4. 2.5 minutes ticked off the clock already for Quakertown. That's a good sign as Makuchi. It's Whiteley. Whiteley is hawked down by number 64 of Pennridge. It looks like that was Scott Mueller, the junior, in on the tackle. First time we called his name today. As Chase Washington, the defensive lineman, the honorable mention in the national conference for Pennridge, he checked out of the game after his unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And we don't see him so far in the second half, so it looks like he may be done for the day.
Which is good news if you're Quakertown, because he's really a key piece of Pennridge's defense.
So now here's Makuchi, split back again. Toss, it's Heilman. Cuts it back towards the inside, brought down at the 28, another solid carry. Or forgive me, the 23. And that's a first down for the Panthers.
Great blocking on the left side of that play. Really set up that good run for Heilman. That's really been another key to the rushing attack so far. The blocking has been amazing so far for Quakertown's offense.
Once again, similar formation. 2 backs in the backfield. This time it's Heilman and Carroll. Carroll gets it, pushes forward for some extra yards, and he's across to the 16 now. And it's just chunks and chunks of yardage nonstop.
It's been a lot of this formation, a lot of the same play. Pennridge just hasn't stopped it yet, so they're going to keep running it.
And there's no reason not to. You would assume you'll see it again here. Same backs are in the game now for Quakertown.
Same formation.
This time they move the receiver at the top to the bottom, but it's still a run to Carroll. They moved him down for the extra blocking and a help there as he picks up the first down. So they move that receiver from the top down to the fields or the short side of the field. They run towards that way, and he gets some extra yards with the help of the blocks of Max Norris and Adam Straley.
I definitely expect to see Gavin Carroll playing running back next season.
So this time, Laudenberger, the defensive lineman, is in the backfield, likely helping out Heilman, who's probably a little gassed after this drive. And what is this? They give it to Laudenberger up the middle. It's a trick play, and he gets flipped, but he gains some nice yardage down to the 3. Looked like Makuchi took that snap, faked it to multiple guys, and just froze before giving it to Laudenberger, who barreled up the middle like a bowling ball, and he fell forward to the 3.
Laudenberger actually used to also play running back in middle school, and he was really, really good at it. He's still fast. He is pretty big, but he's really, really fast for his size, so it makes himself into a good running back.
So this time it's Whiteley, maybe going for his 3rd touchdown of the day. Makuchi motions Jagers. They give it to Whiteley, looking for number 3. Is he in? They say he is short.
Number 44 on the carry.
Whiteley really handling the goal line duties for Quakertown. Looks like that's his 5th carry inside the 2 now. If you have Whiteley in fantasy, you're probably excited right now, but
I could use him right now.
So here we go. 3rd and goal from the 1. Makuchi keeps it up
Gets
the
it.
middle, and he's in. Touchdown, Quakertown. They lead by 3 possessions after a great drive, helped by the rushing attack. No passes, and Quakertown is probably going to go for 2 here again.
No flags on the field.
Shocker.
One of the rare plays.
So the offense stays on the field after going up by 3 possessions, looking to make it 22. Maybe have a play in mind that they like. So it's Whiteley and Heilman again in the backfield. Makuchi lines up under center. We'll see if they send Jagers in motion again. They do. Here's McCucci. He tosses it over to Whiteley, looking for number 4 on the day. There, number 3. Did he get him? Yes, he did. Touchdown.
He gets it.
Convert on the 2-point try. It's Quakertown. They make it 22-0.
A flag on the field.
Oh, another one comes in late.
Looks like it's against Pennridge. Ref was pointing in his direction.
It is against Pennridge, so that 2-point try will stand. And the
lot of
Pennridge sideline is silent right now. See John doing the horns down celebration.
It's been a lot of flags for after the play stuff on Pennridge so far. You got to assume their coaches must be talking about it.
6 minutes, 16 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Panthers 22, Rams 0.
So now if you're Pennridge, you pretty much are forced to throw with just over 18 minutes to go in the game. You're down by 3 scores. The rushing attack's got nothing going. So
it's been relying on that all season. They got to see if Noah Keenan can make a play here.
It's into the hands of the freshman QB, which is the first time a freshman has started in at least over 20 years in this Thanksgiving Day tradition. So because of the penalty, Quakertown will kick from the Rams 45, which will probably set the Rams back with not great field position and a critical drive that they need to score and get on the board for the first time today. Looking to not become the 34th shutout in this historic rivalry. So back deep to return, looks like that's Dantzler, number 17. We'll see if they elect to squib it or kick it deep. And Wackerman will boot this one away into the end zone for a touchback. So Jack, if you're the Pennridge offensive coordinator here, what are you really looking to try to establish on this critical drive? I mean, really nothing's working. What would you look to go to here?
I'd maybe try and set up some play action because we've been running the ball a lot, but maybe some deep passes because so far the deep passes have been working.
Maybe try to look to stretch the field a little bit. Had some potential. You had Fisher once and Swanson as well. Then you also have to watch the mental mistakes. They've had a few big plays that have just come back due to penalty and became essentially useless.
It's been a common theme of all their drives, getting ruined by penalties.
So here's Keating, starts in the gun. On 1st and 10, he rolls to his right. He looks for Holt, and it's completed. Pushed out of bounds at the 24. Devin Uri in on the tackle.
Jake Holt, senior wide receiver. He's actually listed at 6'5", which makes him one of the tallest players on the roster.
So now that's what you really wanted to do if you're Pennridge. You get him decent chunk of yards on 1st down. You put your freshman quarterback in a situation that's not 3rd in a Walmart parking lot, and now you have a chance to maybe pick up a 1st down and get a drive going. Now on 2nd and 6 from the 24, Fisher takes it up the middle before being met by Cody Jefferson short of 1st down yardage. Sets up 3rd and short now.
It already looks like their passing attack is helping to open up the run, which you really need right now, especially being down 22-0.
Look like Jager's also in there on the tackle at the D-line front. Lined up next to Basili and Rashino. So here we go. On 3rd and 1 from the 29, they line up in the I. We'll see if they sneak it for the 3rd time. Keating does try to sneak it. He gets a push from the line. We'll see if they give it to him. I think he got it. And they do rule it a 1st down for Pennridge.
That QB sneak, they keep going back to it, and it keeps working.
So if you can keep your team in 3rd and short situations, you could keep going back to it. But obviously you can't run a sneak on 3rd and 6, so have to stay ahead of the chains on 1st and 2nd down, avoid penalties, avoid taking sacks for losses. And if you're Quakertown, this doesn't hurt. You know, a long drive that takes a lot of time off the clock, you don't hate that, as you're obviously up by 3 possessions with under 5 to play in the 3rd. So here's Keating. He's going to roll to his left this time. Comeback route, not thrown to. Instead, he gives it to number 8 of Pennridge. That's Tyler Wetzel, who barrels over a defender before being pushed out of bounds at around the 46.
Looks like Nick Lundberger's checking back into the game. If I'm Pennridge's offense, I like what we're starting right now. A lot of good passing plays, sets up players in the open field to make some good plays, like right there.
You give Keating some ability to make a play with his legs. He gets out on the boot there, has a short throw wide open. So it looks like number 33 for Quakertown, Mason Borzio, checks into the game for the first time.
And Carroll and Jagers check out.
First and 10 at midfield at the 50.
So it's 1st and 10 from midfield now for Keating, with Fisher in the backfield. Fisher takes the handoff before being swarmed by multiple Quakertown defenders. Again, it's Ferrugio and Heilman with the tackle. Just nowhere to go for the Army commit, the 2-star recruit that has had no running room on most of his carries today.
That was a great play made by Ferrugio, adding on to his 14 tackles on the season.
Yeah, Ferrugio has 7 tackles for a loss. They made it 8 there. Just tied with Gavin Carroll for the most on the team. So now it's 2nd and 12 for Keating. Keating looks to his right. He throws. This one's behind his receiver and incomplete. It was intended for Swanson, and that sets up 3rd down.
Max Morris playing great coverage on the wide receiver there.
Yeah, Morris playing some corner here today. Also played receiver earlier on in the game. He's the leading receiver for Quakertown. And that's likely due to him really being able to shift some defenders and get open in the slot. And the reason he's playing corner here today is Straley is playing safety. Had to move some guys around due to Etherton's absence. So now here's Keating. They roll towards Morris's side, looking for the receiver. It's not there, so they dump it down to Wetzel again, who's barreling forward and almost picks up the 1st down after a great run after the catch.
Wetzel working hard there to pick up as many yards as possible to keep the drive alive.
Yeah, Wetzel also plays linebacker for this defense. He had a huge hit on Makuchi earlier, which forced an incompletion.
4th and 4 here, so I don't think they could go back to the QB sneak.
Keating waiting for the call. Now 4th and 4 from the 44. Here we go. Do or die now for Pennridge. You need to pick this one up. Been in the Quakertown territory a few times and have been able to score. We'll see if they are here. Here's Keating. They roll to his left, looking for Wetzel. He's covered. Now he throws. It is caught. What a play. Number 14, Nate Mossbrook. The receiver hauls that one in and keeps the drive alive for Pennridge.
You got to give a lot of credit to Pennridge's offensive line there, keeping Keating clean in the pocket and letting a long play set up like that. Didn't look like a whole lot was open throughout the play until just at the end.
It's Mossbrook's final game as a Pennridge Ram, the receiver with 7 touchdowns on the year. He runs around a 4.5 40, so he's able to threaten you deep with the speed and then comes back to the ball and makes a huge catch for Pennridge. As Keating now in the gun takes the snap. He's looking for Swanson over the middle. It's tipped and almost into the hands of Straley, but unable to haul that one in.
Great coverage again by Max Morris on that play. Almost setting up the safety to get a tip interception there.
Incomplete, broken up by the Panthers' Max Morris.
77 Nico Pasili checks out of the game.
Second down.
So now that sets up 2nd and 10. See if they try to get some yards to make it 3rd and manageable on the ground maybe. It's really a hard call for the offensive coordinator. You really haven't had a lot going in the rushing attack, but Keating's taking some hits. You don't want your freshman quarterback to take that many, so instead he gives it to Fisher, who's going to pick up around 4 to 5 yards. He's still going before being brought down at the 35. So that makes it 3rd and manageable. It's going to be 3rd and around 5.
Stopped by a host of Panthers.
It was a powerful run there, really fighting for some extra yards. I could tell he doesn't want to go out on a loss on his high school career.
Looking to fight for every extra yard he can get. His offense needs it all right now. From the top to the bottom, it's Holt, Mossbrook, and Swanson. Keating gives it to Fisher, who barrels up the middle, still going, brought down at the 24-yard line.
You could tell Pennridge is starting to gain momentum through the passing game, which really leads to that run game.
Finally saw that burst from Fisher that we haven't seen so far today. Picked his spot instead of being hesitant, and just found that hole and went to it.
Rashino also checks out of the game.
So 2.5 to play in the third quarter. If you're Pennridge, you got to try to start going a little bit quicker. These long pauses after these plays are just killing precious clock that you're going to need if you want to make a comeback. So this is Pennridge's first red zone trip today. As Keating rolls to his left on 1st and 10, he throws high out of bounds, intended for the senior receiver Holt.
Great coverage again by Max Morris. He's really been making a lot of plays. They're throwing it his way, but he's able to make the play and make sure that nobody catches anything. If you're Pennridge, you have to score quick and score often, being down 22-0 and the fourth quarter almost starting.
So now we see similar look, 2 wide receivers to the right. One up at the top towards the short side of the field as they send Wetzel in motion, and Fisher's going to take the handoff. Gets a solid gain of around 5.
Rashino checks back into the game. Lonberger checks out.
In a situation we've seen multiple times already just on this drive alone, but earlier on in the game, a 3rd and 5, or now a 3rd and 6, check that, for Pennridge. Going to have to try to pick it up through the air likely. Same formation as the last play. 3rd and 6. Keating throws Wetzel. It's in and out of his hands, tipped off the fingertips. And this will now set up the biggest play of the game to the date. It's 4th and 6 from the 15 for this Pennridge offense that needs everything they could get right now.
You can't drop those easy catches like that. Those really kill the drives. Also, a key to this drive is I don't think Pennridge have had a flag so far, which hasn't happened on, I don't think, any of their offensive drives.
And we've seen Wetzel's ability to make some plays after the catch. Obviously, he isn't able to do so without the ball, and it looked like he was looking downfield before hauling that one in. Pass was possibly a little bit too far to his outside. And now as a result, Pennridge, 4th and 6. Here we go. Trips to his right. Keating rolls that side. He looks for Mossbrook. No, Laley, and he hauls it in for the first down. It's a huge play again on 4th down as this Pennridge offense is doing everything they can on these crucial downs.
Freshman quarterback Noah Keating's really been making a lot of big plays here. You definitely hope to see him in the future.
Clock winding down in this third quarter. So now if you're Quakertown, you just got to try to hold them to 3. Likely probably won't be kicking a field goal though, so likely 4-down territory.
I'd definitely watch Brennan Fisher here.
Keating's going to give it to him. He bounces it to the outside. Fisher looking for the edge. He's brought down by Uri.
That was a great tackle by Devin Uri. Didn't look like if he made that tackle, he would have scored a touchdown there.
Really hawked him down from his linebacker spot. Had a lot of space there. I thought personally he was probably going to find the end zone, but Uri able to close the space.
Jager also checks back into the game.
So 2nd and goal from the 3. Got to remember if you're Pennridge, you have that sneak in your back pocket if you can get it down closer to the 1, but they might not need it if Fisher's able to get in here. Does he do so? No, but he gets it to the 1. That may be the end of the third quarter unless Pennridge goes up-tempo here. Will they try the sneak? They're 3 for 3.
Looks like they're just going to take it to the 4th. I definitely expect to see the QB sneak here. You want to load a lot of people up on the inside, but then at the same time they could also throw it to Brennan Fisher on the outside.
Yeah, possibly you could work something off of it. You do have 2 downs to try to score here, so you could try to be cute on 3rd down if you don't think you're going to get the push, but I mean, it would be hard to justify that as they're 3 for 3 from the 1. on QB sneaks.
Quakertown now leads 22-0 in the start of the fourth quarter.
So we'll walk to the scoreboard side of Alumni Field as we get set for a battle in the trenches between this offensive line of Pennridge and the front four of Quakertown.
Rocco, if you were Quakertown's defensive coordinator here, what do you think you'd call here?
I'm getting my biggest guys up front, try to get Laudenberger, maybe even sub Vinny Pellegrini in here. And that's what it looks like they're going to do so. They're going to probably put him on the interior, try to stuff Keating from this likely quarterback sneak.
I'd definitely try and stop the sneak here and maybe just risk the outside run. Just hope one of the outside players can make a play on the West Point commit.
And they have 2 downs, so Pennridge does have the option available to try this either twice. They could try to fake it and maybe do a toss to the outside, get the linebackers to bite on the up-the-middle sneak. But really, this is just our guys against your guys up front. Can you get a push to get your guy in the end zone? Let's see if Pennridge is able to do so.
Looks like I form.
That's the set that they've run the sneak from here all day today.
It's also popular to run a toss out of this formation too, so it could really be either.
So here's Keating. He's going to try to sneak it. They get a push. Is he in? He is given the touchdown for Pennridge. They are on the board. They avoid being shut out. And that will cut the deficit to 16. Would have to expect that they're going to try to go for 2 to make it 14, though. As it looks like the offense will stay on the field, so they're going to try to make it an even 14 points.
This is a huge play for Quakertown's defense to try and keep it at 15.
It really is, because if they don't get it, you're down by 16, and then Pennridge, you need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions, which is obviously a tough ask, and just under 12 minutes to play. So Keating lines up in the gun. He's got 2 wide receivers to his right along with Wetzel. Keating looks that way, and it's deflected. What a play.
Anthony Ferrugio with a huge play there, breaking that up. You could tell the right tackle was frustrated on that play, pushing him after.
Looked like Ferrugio just read the eyes of Keating, got into the passing lane there. And even if he was able to get that through the hands of Ferrugio, I don't think he had anybody open either way. It looked like that receiver at the top, Swanson, was blanketed by Quakertown's coverage.
That was great defense on the goal line there.
Executed that perfectly.
I see a lot of happy teammates on that sideline after that play.
Now if you're the offense of Quakertown, you're looking for a dagger drive. A touchdown here and probably even a field goal makes this a really tough ask for this Pennridge team to overcome, as it would make it 3 possessions.
You can see John trying to fire up the team on the sideline, talking to each player. It's been another thing about Etherton. Even when he's not on the field, he's able to help out the team when he's off the field.
So now kicking off will be Aiden Hatfield, the kicker for Pennridge. Back deep to return, it looks like it's Morris and Brady Martin. This one's squibbed. Forces Martin to catch it at around the 15 as he gives it to Morris. Trickery here by the Quakertown special teams as Morris trips down. Had some space. Hopefully he's all right. As Morris is staying on the ground here, he's going to be attended to by the training staff and his teammates.
Max going down inside the 30-yard line.
So the special teams unit, they faked that give on the last kickoff, and this time they did give it off to Morris.
Morris gets up.
Looks like he's ready to check right back in for the offense, but I don't think they're going to let him do that.
Well, if you're on that return team, you definitely want to get it into Morris's hands, as he is the leading returner.
Has that ability to break one free, as they're going to be without their leading receiver for at least the first play of this drive. McCucci hands it off to Carroll, who tries the left side before being brought down at around the 27-yard line, maybe got about a yard.
Looked like Tyler Cole was in there to help.
So Morris checks back in for Brady Martin, the freshman.
Ryan Kirkwood on the tackle.
And once again, if you're Quakertown, you're just trying to drain this clock as much as you can.
Second down and 9 from the 27.
So 11:20 to play. 2 backs in the backfield again for Quakertown. It looks like Carroll and Heilman. They give it to Carroll again. Number 46, Pennridge. Huge tackle made there. It looked like it was Jack Walker.
Jack Walker really just came up big on that play, helping prevent extra yards. You need stops like that on this drive if you're Pennridge.
And now Quakertown in unfamiliar territory. It's a 3rd down, something they've seen 2 or 3 times only today.
3rd and 9.
Gain of 6.
And Carroll goes down here after the play. Looks like he's asking for Morris to stretch him, so hopefully that's just a cramp. So on the other side of things here, if you're Pennridge, you got 10:50 to play. You're down by 16. You need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. You have to get off the field here and get the hands of your offense back. Try to get Fisher involved, who really leads this rushing attack, but has not really been able to do anything today besides that last drive where he finally had some openings.
Noah Keating's also had an amazing second half, which has really led them to score.
He's delivered some nice passes at the end of the first half before that interception that ended the drive, as Carroll's walking off under his own power. So it'll be around 3rd and 3 from the Quakertown 33. If you get a stop, Pennridge's offense is set up with solid field position. Something they haven't really been set up to start with because their defense has been unable to get off the field recently. So it's a new formation for Quakertown. It's 2 backs, 1 to the left and 1 to the right of McCucci, who takes the snap and runs up the middle before being met by multiple Pennridge defenders. He's going to be short of 1st down yardage. It'll set up 4th down for the Panthers.
4th and 1.
Tyler Wetzel on the tackle.
We'll see if they go for this. You're in your own territory, but 4th and 1s are normally pretty easy to pick up.
And this is a huge call here. It's like Bannis now is talking it over, discussing what to do. He's looking at how long this yard is, if it's 4th and inches or maybe 4th and 1 plus a few feet. Let's see. I think he's probably going to use the timeout, as they're letting this one tick all the way down. So they're probably going to call timeout, talk about it. So, Jack, you're playing Madden here in this situation. You're up by 16. It's 4th and 1. You're going for this?
Yeah, I'm definitely going for this.
I don't know. It's a tough call. They've been pretty successful in short yardage situations, but if you don't get it and you give it back to Pennridge at the 35, I don't know. It's a really, really tough one.
The thing is, if you don't get it here, it really sets Pennridge up in good field position. It seemed like they've been able to play pretty well on the other half of the field. So it's way easier to rush the ball when you're on the other half.
You're not forced to throw. And fitting for this situation, the Jeopardy music plays here at Alumni Field for the trivia question.
I'm going with B.
Which NFL team has never played on Thanksgiving? The Panthers, Jaguars, or Texans?
I'm going with the Jaguars.
I'm going with B as well.
Nobody watches the Jaguars.
Yeah,
yep,
you're
I'm right.
dead right.
NFL, that's why they're such a great league. Never see the Jaguars on Thanksgiving.
Never watching Jacksonville on your during your turkey dinner.
Yeah. You could thank them for that.
I'm a Trevor Lawrence believer, but still, that team is just not really getting anything going. And Quakertown's offense will stay on the field here. It's McCucci under center, maybe a sneak. Man in motion, it's Jagers. They will snap it. It's Heilman. Did he get it? I think he did.
Got that.
The spot is suspect, though. Actually, forgive me, it was Aiden Whiteley on the carry, number 44 instead of 24.
If I'm Quakertown, I may have looked to Nick to maybe run it up the middle again.
This is going to be close. Oh, they
Are
refs
they not
now.
giving it to him?
They rule anything yet?
I don't think so. Vince is pointing. He looks kind of upset there.
Said the offense wants a first down, obviously.
Official timeout for
And
Oh,
they're
they're
going to measure it.
measuring it.
Yeah. We unfortunately don't have a great view of this, but we'll see what they rule it. The linesman stretches this chain. And I think
we
he got
got
it. He did get it. Yes, it's a first down for Quakertown.
Thanks to Brett Heilman, we were able to make that call.
And that is a crucial pickup. Avoids Pennridge from getting great field position, as Whiteley has just come through for this team in these big situations here. He's got multiple touchdowns. He's got a 2-point conversion under his belt, and now a 4th-and-1 pickup. The unlikely heroes of this game on offense, Gavin Carroll and Aiden Whiteley.
Flag on the right side of the field.
Could be something on the sideline maybe, or both guys or both teams have 11 guys on the field, so it's not 12 men.
On Pennridge.
Oh, it's on Pennridge. Another unsportsmanlike penalty. I believe that's number 4 now, which is just inexcusable. And that one came in from the sideline, so it could have been a player, maybe even a coach talking to the ref.
Having 4 of those are big because, correct me if I'm wrong, those are 15-yard penalties.
Yes, they are. So it equates to 60 penalty yardage just from those unsportsmanlike conducts, and that doesn't even factor in the false starts and the holding penalties that were thrown in the first half.
It's been a lot of penalties this game.
And that clock will continue to run for Quakertown. About to tick under 9 minutes after this play.
That's good because I think you have to make mac and cheese
Yeah,
when
we
you
gotta
get
get some
home.
mac and cheese going.
Yeah. It's a long day.
I'm sure Bannis likely getting ready to cook some stuffing after this, maybe.
Celebrate his Thanksgiving win, hopefully.
Trying to get to 4 overall as Heilman takes the handoff as he explodes through that hole before being stuffed by multiple Pennridge defenders, but he gets it to around the 42.
It's a great, powerful run by Heilman there.
Clock will fall under 8.5 now. As the hourglass on Pennridge's season, as well as Quakertown's for that matter, is ticking down.
If you're Quakertown, though, you like where you're at right now, going out on the season with a win.
Much rather end this with that big trophy in your locker room for the next year.
You also have a lot of young players on this team.
So you'd think Quakertown would continue to run this and drain the clock. They do, as Heilman gets the first down before being pushed forward by a Pennridge defender. He's down to the 35 now. Clock continues to tick. Pennridge does have all 3 of their timeouts. But the key
Heilman
here,
was hit hard there, but it looks like he got up.
But it did end up giving him some extra yardage, which I'm sure he could sacrifice the hit for a couple extra yards. So shocker, it's going to be the same formation for Quakertown. No reason to go away from it. It's continued to work. You're trying to drain the clock. Makuchi's going to hand it off to Heilman. There's a flag thrown. Possibly on Henderzak, maybe on Gans, unsure, but it looked like that was a hold on the interior.
Yeah, that definitely looked like it may have been on Henderzak there.
Pennridge defender fell to the ground.
Quakertown's offense, yep.
Illegal block against the Panther.
Looks like Pellegrini's not happy with that call. Neither is the crowd. Sets up now 1st and 20, so it pushes him back, but it does give you another play to drain the clock, so it's not terrible if you're the Panthers. As they rule this a 15-yard penalty. So it's not just a common hold. Pushes them back into Quakertown's territory.
1st and 20.
First down and 25 from the 49.
Yeah, scoreboard's wrong. It should say 1st and 25 after the 15-yard penalty.
That may have just killed the drive, but you got to see if Quakertown can maybe have a big play to pick up a first down.
Continue to chew the clock, though. That's the main key, as it's about to tick under 7 minutes. As Vince is staring down a Pennridge defender, waiting for the clock to continue to tick, as this time he hands it off. It's Heilman again. Breaks the midfield blue line, but brought down around the 48. So now once again, you just let that clock continue to take all the way down as much as you can before having to snap the ball.
Gain of 3.
And if you're Pennridge, you have those 3 timeouts in your back pocket, but you got to start thinking about using them somewhat soon.
If I'm Quakertown's offense here at this point, I'm just trying to drain as much clock as possible. Maybe not even focus on getting the first.
Which is why I wouldn't be surprised to see another run on 2nd and 24. It's a toss to Whiteley. He has some space. Solid tackle by number 8. Looked like that was Wetzel. It's been a highlight of this Pennridge offense and defense so far today.
I definitely expect to see another run play here.
Yeah, you're into a 3rd and 15 situation. You're just trying not to turn it over. As it ticks under 6 minutes to play now. 93rd annual. Oh, we have somebody running onto the field.
The 30 to the 20 to the 10.
And he's going to score a touchdown, and that's
and
going
hops
to delay
back
the game
over
before he hops the fence, and he's going to be
and greeted by 2 officers. And is escorted out by 2 officers.
And a great decision made there by him. So now 5.5 to play in this 4th quarter. After that guy generated more total yardage than the Pennridge offense, Mikuchi's going to give it off to Whiteley, who finds the 40, brought down to set up 4th down.
Yeah, the scoreboard is definitely wrong. It says 4th and 42.
Looks like it's more of around 4th and 14. And another timeout taken by Pennridge. They're going to try to stop the clock before getting this one back.
Quakertown make that Pennridge taking a timeout.
So if this score holds, and barring a miraculous comeback from Pennridge, Quakertown would find their 30th all-time victory in this 93rd installment of Quakertown versus Pennridge on Thanksgiving morning.
It also build on to Banis's his 3-9 record and make it now a 2-game win streak after winning last season.
And Pennridge had that 5-game win streak going before last season, brought to an end by that historic Quakertown team that went 13-1. The longest win streak in this rivalry was Pennridge with 7 games back in 1972 to 1978. So the punting unit comes on for the Panthers. Look to pin him in deep.
Also, Pierce, for the gift card, gift card is still here in the booth.
So here's Mikuchi's 38th punt of the season, hopefully the final one. He takes this one and boots it away in the direction of Coons before going out of bounds.
Looked like a great punt to the sideline.
That's what you want to do. Don't give him any possibility of returning this.
Happy we haven't seen Vince punt as much in the second half of the season as the first half.
Definitely a great sign.
He is a good punter, though.
Solid punter. He was an honorable mention last year for the Continental Conference.
We definitely would rather see him play quarterback, though.
You'd rather him be the first team quarterback for that conference rather than the punting duties.
Yeah. He's been playing amazing so far this game.
He's done his job perfectly. Rushing attack has helped him out, made his job as easy as possible.
He's also in on defense.
So here we go. McCucci checks in at safety for, I believe, the first time today, as Keating's going to probably have to throw. He does. He's going to roll to the right, looking on 1st and 10. It passes intended for number 2, Luke Mastrogiovanni, before being brought down at the 28.
Devin Urey there with the tackle.
Number 2, Luke Mastrogiovanni.
It's Mastrogiovanni's first catch of the day. Looked like he replaced Mossbrook, unclear as to why. No, forgive me, that's Swanson that he replaced. Mossbrook motions over to the left side of the field. Rolls to the trip side again. Keating intended for Mastrogiovanni over his head. Urey in coverage.
Looked like Ferrugio helped make the throw. Rough one for the quarterback there. He's really been getting to the quarterback all game.
So now if you're Pennridge, you got a 3rd down. It's 4-down territory, you'd have to guess. 4-down territory pretty much spans the entire course of the field, as you're down to just under 5 minutes to play. Man in motion, that's Wetzel. Now here's Keating on 3rd and 5. He gives it to Fisher, who is able to find more than 1st down yardage before running over McCucci, and Fisher has some space. He beats Payne to the edge. He's down the right sideline and pushed out into the Panthers' red zone.
Looked like Adam was there to save the potential touchdown.
And that's the first time we've really seen Fisher with a huge play. Hasn't really gotten anything going.
We've seen a lot of plays like that from him this season, but this game, the Quakertown's defense has held him to only 1 now. It's a bad time for that play to happen, though. Clock's still ticking.
So they ruled him out at around the 25, so they're not into the red zone yet. It would be their 2nd trip after the first one ended in a turnover on downs.
Rams 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. After a 47
Fisher moves to Keating's right. Now 1st and 10 from the 25. It's Fisher on the same play, and he's wrapped up. Huge play by Ferrugio and Carroll.
Looked like Ferrugio initially got to him, and then Gavin Carroll was able to finish off the tackle.
As Jagers hustles off the field here, as Pennridge is going to go no huddle. Still a decent amount of clock taken off the scoreboard of Alumni Field as we fall under 4 minutes. Keating rolls to his right, fires it, pass is hauled in. Is he able to stay in bounds though? No. It's a really impressive catch, but he didn't get his feet in. I think that's Jake Holt, the senior receiver, who's been the target of multiple of those throws, as the Pennridge sideline is begging for this to be ruled a completion. So they do rule it out of bounds. It's 3rd and 11 from the 26. 3:53 to play.
3rd and 11.
You're obviously going forward on 4th down, and you also need a 2-point conversion if you are able to score a touchdown here for the Rams.
If you're Max there on that coverage, you just try not really to get Moss there. Jay Cole standing at 6'5", it's hard to really keep up with that.
Looked like you did a good job shoving him out of bounds. Forced the incompletion. Now on 3rd and 11, it's play action. It's Keating rolling to his left. He throws towards the sideline. It's incomplete, intended for Mossbrook.
Looked like Jake Holt there was meant to set a pick play up for the receiver, maybe to free him out the sideline, but it was still good coverage there.
Throw is inaccurate as the right-handed quarterback rolled to his left. And it's now 4th and 11 from the 26. Do or die now for the Rams. You need this conversion to keep it alive. They come up clutch multiple times so far today, specifically on that last drive with 2 4th down conversions. So here we go. 2 wide receivers to the field side, and now they move Mossbrook over to the short side of the field. It's a trips to the right set for the Rams. Holt, the receiver at the bottom. Keating, under pressure. He throws over the middle. It's completed to Laley. Did he get the first down? I don't think he did.
He's short.
And he is short of 1st down yardage. Quakertown forces a turnover on downs, and that will likely end the hopes of the Pennridge offense from storming back. And this could give Quakertown the victory.
I believe it has. It's one of the biggest plays of the game made by the defense.
Lilly was able to haul that one in, but you throw that short of the sticks on 4th down, and you're going to have to make a play after the catch, and he was hawked down with that Quakertown defender and unable to do anything upon that completion. So now you're left with 3:40 to go. You're just trying not to turn the ball over. You're trying to go 3 runs.
Got to protect the ball here.
Just got to hold on to it, and you're looking great. Here's Carroll on the 1st down carry. Doesn't pick up much, but the clock continues to run. Pennridge is left with 2 timeouts. Looks like stoppage here. Officials timeout. I think that's due to Nick Launenberger just kneeling down on the field, but he gets up. Walking off easily. So the clock continues to run, under 3:20 to play, as Quakertown can smell victory right now. It's fitting that they're going to try to end the game with the same formation that's got them to this point. They go with 2 backs in the backfield and McCucci under center. Here's Heilman with the carry. Falls forward a few extra yards. Now it'll be 3rd down.
Any play without a turnover for Quakertown's offense right now is a successful play.
Jack Walker with the tackle.
So we see Dirk Stott in on the offensive line in replacement of Launenberger.
Gain of 2. 3rd and 5 at the 22-yard line.
So now here's 3rd and 5 from the 22 with that clock continuing to run. Predictably, another handoff to Carroll, and you don't mind that. He's still fighting forward, still on his feet, and he's breaking free. Did he get the first down? He did.
It's a great rush by Carroll.
And that's fitting there for Gavin Carroll to get the first down that'll seal the victory for the Quakertown Panthers here at Alumni Field. He's contributed on all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams. And he's really helped this rushing attack that needed it today without John Etherton.
They needed players to step up, and it looks like a lot of players did this game.
It looks like Pennridge may not even use their final 2 timeouts.
Definitely expect to see another run here.
If we're headed into victory formation, hopefully after this, as the run goes nowhere, is Heilman. Clock getting ready to tick under a minute to play. Looks like Pennridge will not use their timeouts. And they're content with letting this one fall to 000s. As Vinny Pellegrini puts his hands into the air, and the Quakertown offense getting the crowd on their feet as they get their 30th all-time victory in the Thanksgiving Day tradition between Quakertown and Pennridge. As victory formation for McCucci, he kneels it down, and this will tick the clock to 000s. John Etherton raises the trophy in the air. McCucci chest bumping his teammates, crowd on their feet. Band is jubilant, and the student section is cheering as they will storm the field here at Alumni Field. Quakertown defeats Pennridge 22-6.
They got the bucket.
As they bring the Gatorade bucket.
Banis better hide.
Looking for Banis, as well as some of the students better hide. As Hyman and Pellegrini getting ready to launch this one. As the handshake lines start and the clock hits 000s in the 93rd matchup between Quakertown and Pennridge. Quakertown defeats Pennridge 22-6 with the help of Aiden Whiteley and Gavin Carroll, 2 unlikely heroes of the offense. They're able to contribute with the loss of John Etherton, and they are able to end their season on a high note. I'm Rocco Pellegrino alongside Jack James. I'm glad you were able to join us. I'm glad, Jack, you were also able to join us here today for this historic tradition and rivalry. I'm signing off. This was QCSD TV News presentation of Quakertown football.
Happy Thanksgiving.